Hey, so which generation in living memory as kids had the dumbest, stupid style trend?
Goth, which was pretty Gen X in its peak, which you might not have seen, was pretty stupid. Um,
See, because I
but
was,
the
I was,
emo stuff was kind of
well, that's the thing. I was at this gas station the other night, and I saw some like I don't know Gen Alpha or Gen Z kid, whatever it was, and he's walking around with that stupid ass permed alpaca haircut.
oh yeah,
It just looks dumb, and like a shirt that goes up his midriff a little bit, and I was like, man, these guys have dumb style. And then I remembered that I'm a millennial, and
the emo.
yeah, we had emos, and emo looks so much dumber than that. Like I cannot think of a style dumber than emo. The only one that rivals it, unfortunately, is also millennial, which is once we got older, hipster style. Like that's punk is pretty stupid looking, but that's
Full hipsters were pretty bad in like 2010, 12, 13. Is that
yeah.
millennial too?
Oh yeah, that's I mean that when we were I'm saying the
Like there was a time frame. I don't know what it looks like now because they kind of just look like those people just have all like the trash tattoos and colored hair, and that's about it. But there was a time frame 2010 to 15 where every goofy mustache in the world was there, dressing up like they were coal miners from the 80s, riding around on like weird bikes with like one large wheel and one small wheel and stuff like that. And all of downtown Salt Lake looked exactly like that.
oh yeah. We had a ton of hipsters in the music scene. I remember my friend just going off on this chick we went to high school with. We were at a show, just listening to some local music and shit. She comes up and he's just wearing because me and my buddy were into music. We don't look like everyone else there, we just dress like normal people. Because there's a lot of people with like cut off jean vests and like a bunch of patches for whatever godforsaken reason. And the his chick comes up and he's wearing this John Deere hat, and she's like, "Are you wearing that hat ironically?" And he just loses his mind on her. Like, oh my God, no, I'm wearing it because I'm going bald. All right. I'm wearing it because it's a hat. And it just happened to be John Deere. I just saw it at the DI and I'm like, I need a hat. I'll get that. Who has time to wear things ironically? Who would do that? That's so stupid. And he just goes off for a while and then she looks up at him and she's like, whoa, that's so cool. Like he was double ironic or something.
Man, I tell you what though, in the '90s, especially for the time frame it was, especially for the kind of preppiness time. I mean, everybody else was. I guess one that gets overlooked is one that Kevin definitely wore. He feels embarrassed about it now. Was the hookah necklace and the kind of bleached hair, spiked hair, the 311 look back at the,
Ah,
you know,
yeah. I
that
wore a hookah necklace when I was in like seventh grade.
I had a friend in high school. He passed away recently. I hadn't seen him since then. He was on the football team. And there's a picture of him and his friends around like a year. It was like 98 or 97 standing by it. But they all had, every single one of them had the puka shells or those beaded necklaces and the spiked hair. And I'm like, you don't need that 98 in there. Like, you do not need that 98 in there at all. I could probably find the picture.
Yeah, you definitely don't need the 98. I went through a phase when I was like 12 where I would wear like bracelets and shit. And like I had this bracelet that I really, really like. It wasn't even a bracelet, it was like a wristband that snaps around your wrist. You'd find it like a Hot Topic, and it's like black and white checkered. And we went boating for a young men's activity, and it fell off and I lost it. I was like, oh no, whatever. And I remember I told Morgan about that. So like on my first birthday where we're together, like Morgan's idea of gift giving is sentimentality is peak. So she gives me that wristband. I was like, oh yeah, you remember that. That's funny. And then the next day, she's like, why aren't you wearing your wristband? I was like, I, well, because I'm not 12. You know, she's like, I thought you loved that. I was like, well, yeah, when I was 12. Look, it was really sweet. I'm not going to wear it.
I'm trying to find the picture because it was kind of recent. And they were just posting it up as like a memory thing. But man, but there was something about the goths at that time frame, like, you know, summertime, pretty warm, whatever. And some kid walking in dressed like Neo, just straight up dressed like Neo out of nowhere. And then there's like one of them. And usually the day before they were like one of the dweebiest kids. You know what I mean? Like they were the day before they were the high school kid from The Simpsons or something like that. And then the next day they're coming in full Neo, black coat, big large black boots. It was jarring at the time frame.
It's kind of like one of those things where trench coats and fedoras look really cool, but I've never, ever in my life met somebody in person that looks good in either of those.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of, I guess dweebs and atheists think like the fedoras or whatever look good or something like that, but then it still takes a good-looking person to make them work, I guess.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. Every once in a while, you see some guy that it just kind of fits, but
yeah, I could see Kevin pulling off a fedora.
Oh yeah, I have a buddy. He's a piano player. He's a big dude, and he wore a fedora a lot. I think he kind of pulled it off. It kind of fit him, kind of like the dude from
Dumas, or
it kind of fit him like the Blues Traveler dude a little bit, sort of. But
yeah, no, he looks pretty good in that. You're right. Okay. But I've never met him in person, so that's.
He doesn't wear it all the time anymore. He used to, but
it's just he's got it in his profile picture.
Man, I got to be so close to a picture of it, and I saw a bunch of other pictures, but I didn't see the one. Dang it! I was trying to find it, but yeah, the puka shells and the spiked bleach hair, that was a thing that was.
Anytime you even say that, you get third eye blind in my head.
Yeah, it's exactly that, and the whole world was that for a little while. But I don't know that was like attached to any sort of. I mean, it was just like a preppy thing, but it was. I guess it's the same as the perm schwilb that you're talking about, the alpaca hair.
Yeah,
it's prep. It's preppy kids, you know.
It's the current gay, you know.
Yeah.
I did bleach my hair once, but it wasn't like the frosted tips. It was like my younger brother. I was like 15 and he was like 12, and he's like, "I got some bleach. Do you want to bleach our hair?" And I was like, "Sure." So we read the instructions, we put it in there, and you're supposed to leave it for a certain amount of time. But we started playing video games and just totally forgot about it. So we had it in our hair for like 2 hours or something. We took it. Oh, it looked terrible. I'll have to find a picture of that somewhere. It looked awful.
Yeah, I gotta see. I never bleached anything back then. I went pretty all natural, and I am very, very lucky. I don't know why. I sort of seemed like an outsider for it at the time because I only dressed that way. But I, in high school, only wore white T-shirts and jeans, and so like just straight white T-shirts, straight jeans. That's all I wore. The most 90s thing I wore is I'd have what were those sandals that you wear all the time back then? The
Chacos?
No, like the Doc Martin sandals or something like that. But just staying that kept me pretty clean on being embarrassed of the past. But
oh yes, I'm not too embarrassed of anything. I mean, I look stupid with bleached hair, but that was more of a joke than anything. But I wore like jeans and cargo pants and T-shirts, sometimes a polo. I never buy clothes ever. I have some new clothes right now. And the reason is because it was my birthday last week, and you can always tell when it's my birthday because I got new clothes. My mom buys me new clothes, so I now have another pair of pants and a couple shirts.
Yeah, I bought some recently just because I'm leaning out too dang much, and I bought some clothes that I got to be way lean to wear, and they never last long. They never stay in my closet long because I never stayed this lean that long. But that sucks. But because I always buy the nicest things when I'm the leanest, like, oh, this will look really good.
Well, yeah.
And I have like a total of 2 months I could wear. But dang it, I wish I could find it. It was such a perfect picture because it says 98 and every single guy has that hairstyle. Anyway, I'm wasting time with that. I'm being a quartering. Flips in England, and there he is at the Book of Mormon show. I didn't realize they had like the Book of the Moroni up on the stage like that. He said he took his kids, his son, and their friends to the Book of Mormon movie or play in England, in London. He said it was great and perfect and all that, and he was worried about it before taking them because those kids have sensibilities about it being offensive, and I guess they all got through it just fine. It is kind of wild that that show can still run and nobody has taken enough offense to it to make them take it down.
Well, I don't know. The Mormons are generally good sports about it. They're starting to be little pussies.
I don't mean the Mormons, just like that show has enough stuff about Africans that
it is kind of surprising. I remember
acting like they have different beliefs about the world and do different crazy things about the world. I mean, that's
well, I remember watching it and thinking, I know all these Exmos that are raving about this play, and they are wokies, like a lot of them, and this play should piss wokies off.
Yeah, because there's two concepts about it, and that it's ultimately the Mormons are well-meaning and have something that the thing the South Park guys have always said works and seems to make people nicer or better or whatever, even if they claim it's like a wild, wacky myth at the bottom of it.
That's where the ex-Mormons stop, though. That's the only message they see is that no, they think Mormonism's so wacky. Like, yeah, they do. Did you watch the rest of the play?
Yeah, and one of the things about the play is that it's laughing at Mormons of it's hilarious you guys think that your stuff has answers for these types of problems.
Yeah.
But guess what else does not have answers for these types of problems? Your blank slate is in liberalism. You're teaching. We'll just teach them about consent. We'll give them a movie like, don't touch them there. This is my no-no square. Is as ridiculous as those Mormons going up to them and saying whatever to mom. But I guess the Mormons are baptizing like crazy in Africa nowadays anyway. So what's the matter?
Yeah. But they truly. Sorry, I lost.
No, I was just saying. I was just repeating. I was going to repeat what I said. The ridiculousness that you go after them with is the liberal project, neoliberal project, is just as ridiculous of what they think they can like pop up with and train them in.
Yeah, they truly do believe that the way to fix rape is by telling men not to rape, don't they? Like,
yeah, they think that they can just bring them here, teach them about I don't know. The Bill of Rights and consent, and it'll all be good. And all they had to do is be told, like a little bit, and then
like watching those American feminists go to Afghanistan and show these burqa'd women modern art and try to teach them about feminism and shit was just like, how did you possibly think this was gonna work? Like, I don't understand. Like, I swear in their head they're gonna go there and be like, did you know men and women are equal? And they're like, wait, really? No. Whoa. Okay. Tell me more. And then they'll come out like a couple days later and be like, holy shit, men and women are equal. And our society's fixed now.
Yeah. I'm not going to listen to any of this, but this is Nathan Confesses. And he's on with Winston Marshall, the dude who got kicked out of Mumford & Sons. Speaking of that hipster era where everybody was dressing like that and listening to Mumford & Sons.
Oh, yeah.
Mumford & Sons were probably the worst of it. They were dressed up like coal miners, like singing all this oldie stuff. This British guy playing a banjo. I mean, I sometimes wonder if that isn't cultural appropriation, that he's playing that banjo. But Nathan Confesses was the dude who gets credit for exposing the Jason Arday scandal.
But he's racist, isn't he?
Well, he is ultimately, he says he's conservative, but he's like Boris Johnson conservative. And he does, I think he's in the United States now, but he had been in Cambridge and all that sort of stuff. Like he's major squish. He's conservative, like David Frum conservative, if that makes any sort of sense. Like he's a Biden voting conservative because he can't stomach the right or some sort of thing like that. But he is a major proponent of HBD, human biodiversity. And that human biodiversity thing, if you listen to this whole entire conversation, because he starts having the conversation with Winston, is he says, just 100% says the race IQ thing and the bell curve and all that stuff is just 100% true. It's factual. There's nothing you can do about it. And the IQs of like these different nations and these cousin marrying nations and all that stuff is just reality. You can't do anything about that reality.
Yeah.
But then he holds to, we've got to keep the affirmative action, but drop the notions of the left that those differences come from oppression, and admit that those differences come from human biodiversity, but keep all that affirmative action.
Oh, Risto's asking if we talked about Sky King. Haven't we?
I'm blanking on what that is.
Sky King was the dude that hijacked a plane just to fly it.
Oh, and it's his anniversary or something like that.
Is it?
Yeah, I saw people posting around like it was the anniversary of the day that he did that. Hijacked the plane and then crashed it while he was talking to the people on the.
He did a fucking loop.
Yeah,
which is wild.
I'd heard the whole entire story, but he had just been hanging around. He wanted to fly. He'd been asking the people to fly. He'd been a good worker. He'd been hanging out there and just saying it for a long time. And one day he just took it out. But didn't he also kill people on the plane with him?
No.
He was alone?
He was the only one on the plane. I mean, obviously it's like dangerously irresponsible. But I don't know, listening to the log, it kind of like it stirs something in you listening to him talk to the air traffic controller who's trying to convince him to go land. He's like,
no.
He's like, well, I'm going to take it around a little while, see some stuff. And he seemed like just like this nice guy. And he's like, let's get you to land over here. And he's like, I'm going to go to jail like forever. He's like, no, I don't think so. He's like, you're not going to fool me, buddy. I'm going to jail.
Yeah, I kind of figured this would be a thing, but figured. But yeah, anyway, back to that. Just touched on the thing of like there is left or liberal side people, starting to push the stuff, but getting real about. I mean, the joke is they use HBD online if you see it, the human biodiversity. But this guy just gets called a racist anywhere that he goes or anything because he uses that outdated, debunked IQ stuff. And this stuff's not debunked. It's just one of those things where there's like this major rift between the left and the right that they think that they can just like announce at the top of their mouth that that's been debunked. That's rubbish. And it's just not debunked.
I want Cardin to watch this section of the video. That's a stupid fucking tactic, Cardin. You just can't declare something debunked.
Yeah, it's been debunked, long debunked. It's been long debunked. And so one of the things he says is like, if you look at the numbers of it, if people want to say it's just a pure meritocracy, that there will be less than 1% of the Ivy League population will be black. And that's just how it is. If it was a true meritocracy, and we don't want that. So we need to set a quota, but we need to set a quota not off of crazy lefty assumptions that it's coming from some sort of oppressive suppressor, whatever state of whatever, but he still wants all the affirmative action. But of course, one of the things about that whole Jason Arday story that came out was he had been attacked by other kind of normal lefty professors who noticed this stuff. And one of the professors got put on a 4-month police investigation just for asking him about his stuff.
You would have to. So I hadn't heard this. I hadn't heard of this guy before this shit came up. But if you would have just shown me, his fucking Miss South Carolina answer that he gave to that interviewer asking how would you change the world.
Oh yeah.
I'd have been like, this guy's dumb. Like he's not just like not smart enough to be here. He's actively dumb.
Yeah. And so this is Nathan complaining about Jesse Singal, who I've mentioned Jesse Singal before. Jesse Singal is the left guy. You can watch him debate James Lindsay with Brett Weinstein years ago of why he was going to vote Biden, and James Lindsay was saying that Biden was not the room. There was a long debate on the Dark Horse podcast between them. This Jesse Singal guy was the dude who went and debunked the had a long thing debunking the racial bias testing stuff and how crap those tests were and how they weren't repeatable and they weren't valid and all that sorts of stuff. So he's of course a racist. He's a racist just because he debunked terrible, crappy tests that aren't valid or reliable, which that's what tests are supposed to be. But now he's going after Nathan Coffness, saying Mr. Coffness was not an ideal messenger given his interest in the purported correlation between race and intellect. In a meritocracy, he wrote, blacks would disappear from almost all high-profile positions outside of sports and entertainment. So then Nathan Coffness pushes back on that. I appreciate Jesse's article in the New York Times, but I look forward to a time when people acknowledge the so-called purported correlation between race and intellect, not controversial among researchers in this area, aren't thereby considered tainted sources. And but him being tainted is part of the only thing that popularized it, because they could say, oh, now a racist noticed, now a race, and he's not really a racist, he's just somebody, he's actually hardcore into the science of that stuff and is a professor in it, and he's at Kent State now or something like that. He's a professor, and just like a Charles Murray, because Charles Murray was arguing for the same thing in the bell curve.
Yeah.
He was saying we have to deal with this, and the only way we deal with this is more leftist ideas, because meritocracies won't work, But
deal with it with more leftist ideas. Like Charles Murray said that.
Yeah, he says that in the bell curve.
So what is his end goal? Equity.
Their end goal is more of what people used to think affirmative action was, in the sense of, oh, we'll just do it for time, for a bit to help, and that sort of stuff. Not full commie equity type stuff. He says, Coffness says, we need to set a quota because they'll just get really, really upset that there will never be any black people who ever make the Ivy Leagues ever again, which we saw from that Columbia stuff, that it actually turned out to be true when Amy Wax had said that no black person had been in the top percentile, and then they released their numbers accidentally and it was true.
They sound like well-meaning, hyper autistic dudes.
Yeah. That's what it is.
And they think they're like trying to be like helpful and informational when they say these. It's like James Damore, definitely autistic.
Yeah.
Trying to explain that women like different things. He thinks he's being helpful.
Yeah.
That's like if you're hanging out with that one girl. We all know that one girl from high school who's always bitching about how she can't find a real man, but she's always at the bars. She's always going after the obviously worst guys. She's hanging out with bikers and shit like that. She dates him for like 3 days before he cheats on her. And it's like if James Damore were in a room with that woman and she's talking to her friends and she's like, I just don't understand why I can't get a good man. He would, thinking he's being totally helpful, say, oh, well, it's you have illicit sex too easily. You go to the wrong places to find them. You'd be more suited to find them at a church. And you drink too much.
Yeah.
Fuck you!
So then you have Curtis Yarvin, who's the dissident right guy, the monarchist dude, Mencius Moldbug. And he's the dude who popularized. I mean, these guys have all gotten noticed and known in the world because they actually noticed the thing is real and were professor level people and started saying it, and it made them internet lore famous people for it. Curtis really got famous for asking people the question, do you really think that if we traded all the population for Haiti for all the population of Sweden, that Haiti would remain Haiti and Sweden would become Sweden? Which, by the way, they were sending all those Haitians back this weekend, and well, there's Geraldo Rivera, who told Trump to apologize for shithole countries, also then post expelling Haitian immigrants and sending them straight to hell. So I guess, what's worse, hell or a shithole?
They always knew.
Yeah.
They knew. Like, I can't tell you how much respect I lost for Conan O'Brien. He's written some of the best Simpsons episodes of all time. He's a funny guy. He's likable. It goes to it. He knows what he was doing when he went to that resort in Haiti, took a picture in a gorgeous blue beach in front of his gorgeous, massive hotel, drinking an expensive martini, saying, this doesn't look like a shithole to me. He had to have known how stupid that was. I don't actually, you know what? he had to have known how dishonest it was. I don't think he knew how stupid it was. Like how obviously out of touch that looks to do something like that.
Yeah. Well, and then of course the question always then becomes the racist question of what happens if you bring all the Haitians here, which generally, I mean, I think kind of across the board, what the answer has always been what we knew long before, what we knew even in the 90s or earlier, is that stuff can be done if you integrate them slowly. Don't bring them to one single ghetto, like spread them out, spread them around. Don't let them be able to stay in their enclaves where they stay speaking the same language and doing the same things and have, like, you got to integrate them,
Yeah, people don't want to learn a new language. You have to incentivize it.
Mm-hmm. And but so Yarvin says, no way to avoid the fact that a republic is founded on a lie, seeing all plucking the lie's poison fruit and casting it away, must still kneel at the base of the tree. And Coffness looks forward to a time Whig history will never die. Whig history is another way of saying that historicism that we always talk about. These people who imagine the future perfectiveness is coming no matter what. It's we're on a line towards perfection in this liberal, the arc of justice type stuff. Friends, that time will not come on its own. Whig history will never die, friends. Time will not come on its own. But I mean, this stuff's all coming up because I mean, I just was talking to the gal I used to date from Mexico, and she told me that they just barely agreed to give passports to almost like 1 million foreign-born people into Mexico. Do you think that's to keep them in Mexico?
Like they're
Mexico's bringing in 1 million third worlders and giving them passports for just like $1,000 or something.
Oh, okay.
Is everybody pretty sure that's just for them to stay in Mexico? Or
I'm sure Mexico's just gonna keep them there.
That's just waiting for the next Biden to come in and dump them off here.
I know.
And not only that, like, I think that sounds almost kind of like planned to do that, and that's why this whole concept of people are saying we got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying that woke point one, boy, oh boy, was that crazy.
Yeah, that was you fucking idiot. You were lecturing us on wanting to grow cauliflower instead of some other foreign thing because that's colonization. Neither of which are native to New York, you fucking shitheel. Holy Christ almighty. You sanctimonious bitch. Now I'll be like, oh, this one a little crazy. This feels exactly as insulting as that shit-ass Atlantic article. It was like, you know what, guys? We all said things during COVID.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
We need to just forgive each other. No!
Crazy things you said, guys.
I said things. You made me mask up. You fucked over the world's economy. You forcibly made us get vaccinated. A vaccine that didn't work, and then you gaslit us when we said this doesn't seem to work. It might help a little bit. It's not a vaccine because it doesn't cure it. And
the thing that still angers me more than anything.
You made people's grandmothers die alone, okay? I just said, let's not do this. That's what we did. Such a lopsided apology because I might have called you a fucking retard once and you ruined everyone's life.
Well, I mean, they're backing off of the abolish the police stuff, and they're backing off of the BLM insanity but the thing is, they're backing off the messaging. They're not backing off the ideas at all.
Oh,
like they haven't learned one single thing. All they figured out is like, we got to change our framing is all they're saying.
Well, even their backing off is all the backing off is saying that, oh, that's definitely an end goal, and like even Bernie Sanders, when he's like, I don't know anybody that actually wants to abolish prisons. No, I long for the day.
All the DSA members have said it.
No, I know. And he's like, so he's lying, but then he says, I long for the day when we don't need prisons anymore. It's like, so that's your end goal. You're not talking about this like it's unachievable, because by the way, it's unachievable to not have prisons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's achievable if you just get rid of them right now, and it's just, you're going to fuck over society.
Yeah, and I mean, rattling off and listing off the stuff of what was crazy. I mean, between all the trans stuff, every single insane kind of anti-white thing that they ever said, that there's just mountains of evidence of all of them saying it, but they still denied that they ever said it. And I don't know, whatever. But when it comes to the vaccine stuff, I was thinking about this. Like, people will still argue it worked and it was good. It was a good thing. I'm like, tell me about this story. I think we brought it up last week. Dave Smith had a kid who was going to college, playing sports in college, vaxxed, boosted, got COVID after getting vaxxed and boosted within months. So, they lied that you won't get it because of that, but then could not go back to college unless he got a third booster to play.
Such utter retardation.
Like there is no justification for that. There's nobody who didn't know that wasn't good at that time frame. There's nobody who didn't know that wasn't right back then. We all knew how immunity worked since forever before that. There was no justification for that. But what people are saying, the term that woke point 2 actually is, which I do think is like a little bit of a shift from it, is changing this third worldism instead of, which I think is a little bit true. That it's not just that they believe all that stuff, but then we'll also, import in the entire third world and then just start doing all these types of like tribal politics and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, they're like, out of all of our gay ass Marxist theories, we probably shouldn't have kicked off with queer theory.
Yeah.
In hindsight, that was a bad idea. Let's go to post-colonial theory.
Post-colonialism sounds good. Fanon, like, America's a colonizer. We owe it to the world to bring them in. That's one of the reasons they're not thankful. I saw Jeremy Clarkson put this thing of I think I have it.
I'm excited in like 15 years after they tried several iterations of going through their stupid ass critical theories to when they finally do that Hail Mary and go for fat studies.
That's the one that they land on and stick with.
They're like, oh fuck, we tried every other one.
Post-colonialism wasn't good. The trans thing wasn't good. BLM got a little bit of a ways, but we took it too far. But now we're going to fat studies. This by Jeremy Clarkson. Benefits claimants should be forced to write a genuine thank you email to a random worker every single week. It's so kind of you to go to work every day so that I don't have to. Thanks to you, I was able to buy an even bigger television this week. But what's funny about that is that part of third worldism, you read Frantz Fanon and the his whole idea is that we owe this to them. Like it's not being nice, that they don't need to say thank you. We owe it. It's back pay. It's it's all reparations for what America's done to the world. But
fucked.
When it comes out human biodiversity stuff, I saw this and I really liked it. I almost was going to name it this week, but this is just like nails everything. The blank slate gives sociologists freedom to develop grand theories of causes of social phenomena without having to deal with biological or genetic limits. The result is what Nozick called normative sociology. Normative sociology, the study of what the causes of problems ought to be.
I fucking love it. I said that and I was like, that's the perfect phrase.
Yeah, and that's the world that we're just living in. Nobody's actually looking at what the problems are, what the problems ought to be, because it feels good to say it's something else. I like you sent this, the boomer experience of diversity. Higher quality of life. Wow, these talks are so good. It's fun to learn about other cultures. Gen Z experience, reparations, kill whiteness, a lesser college for you, rape gangs. It's our country now. But this a black pill with that is this post right here. The blackest pill, brain dead boomers who haven't had a thought in their entire lives that wasn't dictated to them by the TV, but knock on doors, are politically worth more than every right-wing intellectual in history put together.
Liberal Party released this video on Facebook, but not on X because they knew the internet would roast them. Their volunteers are all brain dead CDC addict boomers doing the door knocking. That was the same as the Target. You remember when people were pissed off at Target, so they en masse went to buy stuff and then return it immediately, so there's a massive line.
Oh yeah,
it was all old women with a couple old men sprinkled in there.
Oh yeah. See, I just heard like this whole other thing that same gal from Mexico was telling me, did you see? She said that she's got liberal women up here offering to marry her to get her a green card.
Yeah, that's so.
I didn't even think of like the
I
lesbian angle of that sort of deal.
Okay, but we're gonna scissor. Like I'm getting something out of this bitch. We're bumping clams.
Yeah. Oh, let's listen to old AOC say.
Councilman that has, I have a local city councilman that has this. One was crazy.
One was crazy. I can't believe they even like refer to
and
it.
I think that what's important is that we have to assess what
was it. I mean, did the movement go too
now.
far with some of those positions? I mean, you briefly supported the idea of defunding the police.
Briefly,
huh? You know, I think that during this time and especially during COVID, there was a huge opening of the Overton window. We were shut down. There was some of the highest unemployment rates that we have seen because of those shutdowns. Yeah. And I think that the doors were really open in trying to entertain any and every policy that was going to get us to a better place.
What a retarded, what a retarded ideology you have.
That were had in that time.
Any and every
fruitful.
Are you
I think that
fucking nuts?
When we talk about crime.
They haven't backed off that stuff at all, man.
No, they haven't. This is. Do you know what that was in response to? The question that he asked her. He was asking her why she hadn't endorsed Hmong lady, the lady.
Oh, Hong, the one who
Hong, the Korean lady that lost.
Maybe they maybe they fortified that election again.
I think they probably did.
Probably did.
The polls can be off, but holy
fuck! There's two minds about that, because the Dems could have either fortified the election or those guys could have fortified the polls, which are both options. But
I like Adam Carolla's take on this. Anytime something like this happens, you're like, yes, evolving is good, changing your views is good, but like if you held a view when you were like 51 years old, and then now you hold the polar opposite view because you're 52 and a half, like I don't really think you had an honest change of heart. I don't think you were convinced by logic here. The example he used was like, okay, you got two people to watch your kids. You got one person who's like always on record been against pedophilia.
I always was.
You got this other guy who was at one point pro pedophilia, and which one do you want to watch your kids? And you say, well, I'm going to choose the never pedo guy. And hold on. I know I went through that weird stint where I briefly
people said crazy things.
Yeah. Where I briefly thought fucking kids sounded awesome, but like I changed I grew in the past 2 years since I was in my 50s.
Yeah, why would you go with that person ever? But you want to know what? Like all over TikTok, every single DSA member and those types of people, I mean, they're still there arguing for the same stuff.
Prisons? Do you want to defund the police? Do you condemn Hamas? When somebody asks you a dumb question, the first thing you do is deny them the dumb answer, because those questions are designed to make you choose between the oppressor and the oppressed, to test your principles. And it won't work on you because you will always choose the oppressed, because you are principled. The second thing you give them the answer they want, but not in the way that they want it. Because what they want is a simple yes or no, and they will get it after you give them an education.
Oh, fuck this guy.
Do I want to abolish prisons? What's the alternative? Prisons forever? Humans in cages forever? Humans deprived of sunlight and social connection forever? Only a dumbass or evil person or both would want that as a permanent solution. And if you agree with me that shouldn't be the solution forever, then we should work together on prison abolition.
I want certain people in prison forever.
Yeah. It's not that like I want to have to cage people forever. It's that I live in fucking reality, and I know there's some people that have to be caged forever or just killed, you know, like I like Chris Watts. You think we let Chris Watts out, the guy that like murdered his daughters and and wife for a side piece. When should we let him out? When is he reformed? Or rapists? Like, you guys are so forgiving on all other crimes, but as soon as it gets into rape, you're not as forgiving.
Oh, no.
Which you should
part of third worldism is they've got
okay,
to
yeah. That's
think
a good
about
point.
rape as a spectrum now, because there's a lot of things that they've started calling rape that I wouldn't really call rape, and it's just kind of different cultural experiences. If you think I don't have a clip of that, I do. Hold on a second though, but I'll show you somebody who it's not even murder, but if they ended up
Sorry, officer. In my culture, we go 30 miles an hour over the speed limit. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Go on about your day.
Let me see here. This dude.
Oh, this dude. This makes your fucking blood boil.
Yeah, if he ended up in prison for a long time just for this, I'd be okay with it. Yeah. I don't think this guy needs to be rehabilitated and put back on the street. I mean, he should at least be like in the old school asylums back when that used to be prison like.
Oh, dude, that's your sister. You're gonna get murderous.
The gal was waving at him, walking to go to she was like carrying like get well cards for somebody else.
He's fucking schizo. I always bring it up, but there's that great scene in the Dark Knight Returns where this fucking idiot psychologist rehabilitates the Joker, brings him onto a talk show, and they're like, "So, Joker, you've been rehabilitated. What's the first thing you're gonna do?" He's like, "I'm gonna kill everyone here." And he just goes and slaughters everyone. It's the Scorpion and the Frog, You gotta lock the Scorpion up.
Yeah.
Believe them when they tell you what they are.
I think our distaste towards rape is towards rape. It's towards the idea of and the act of rape, not towards the myth of this monster rapist, as now we've born to be thinking of it that way. Because there definitely is a demonization of rape, in the sense of it is a spectrum, and I think our distaste towards
holy fuck,
Mom Donnie said something very similar very recently.
Yeah, dude, no, you're right. Rape is demonized. You're absolutely correct, and I'm so absolutely comfortable with demonizing rape. I'm comfortable with dehumanizing rapists. All right.
But were you thinking of the third world? Like, what if these people had a different culture? And
here's the thing. This is what I always say about Ayn Rand. There's a lot of wacky shit that Ayn Rand believe, but the best thing that reading Ayn Rand ever did to me is taught me that I can say I don't care. Like, you don't have to, like, every idea doesn't deserve a seat at the table by sole virtue of being an idea in someone's head. Like, if a guy comes and starts trying to apologize for pedophilia or apologize for rape or something like that, you don't be like, well, I mean, it's an idea, so we got to hear him out and argue. No, you say, fuck off. That's it. Like, no, I don't care what if it's your culture? I don't care. What if I'm uncomfortable that you have guns in your house? I don't care. Fuck off. Like, I wish you weren't uncomfortable, but fuck off.
Yeah. This thing leaked of Mamdani talking about how they use stuff and they view it totally differently, and they're just using the Democrat Party. Of course, he has an accent all of a sudden here on this.
I think that with the interesting thing about our communities here is I think that minority communities, because we have never had representation, we are tied much more to identity. White communities, they've had representation forever. And so for them, their tie is a little less identity and a little more ideology. And so what I mean by that is we have a lot of voters here who think of themselves first as progressive voters. And so we reach out to them speaking about our platform, our progressive platform. And you're very right that you need someone in the middle to be a validator, someone to tell them to trust us, believe in us. We've had that with Tiffany Caban and Cynthia Nixon. I think that with the interesting thing about our communities here is I think that minority communities, because we have never had representation, we are tied much more to identity.
Thanks.
White communities, they've had representation forever. And so for them, their tie is a little less identity.
Fucking Cynthia Nixon, the ultimate useful idiot. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, so they're saying it's just completely tribal, and they're just using that thing, and it has nothing to do with those ideals that they think that they have. It kind of brings about the whole stuff about the dog racism thing that came up. Human biodiversity and dogs and the dog racism.
Yeah, dude, I'm dog racist, okay? I'm absolutely dog racist. I am speciesist too. Like, I discriminate against Bengal tigers when it comes to animals I will allow my kids to be around. It's just how you raise them. No, you're a blank slate retard if you think that. And you extend your blank slateism to animals, which is even more retarded somehow.
I mean, that's the one place that you should be able to figure it out and see it. I mean, not just by the numbers, but those dogs were bred to do that. And you can I mean, I have a...
No, they were nanny dogs. Fuck off, nanny dogs.
It's so obvious in the dog world if you have any experience across dogs, like multiple different types of dogs. I have a border collie right now compared to my Jack Russell. They're almost different beings. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jack Russells are a lot more aggressive.
Way more. My dog hasn't bitten anything in his life now.
Well, that's the funny part is anytime you bring up the pit bull shit, there's some shit hag that's like, Chihuahuas. I've seen Chihuahuas that are way more aggressive. Like, okay. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if Chihuahuas are more aggressive, if they bite more. Their bites don't do shit. A Chihuahua couldn't kill my 1-year-old son.
Yeah. I don't know. It just kind of blows my mind. We're just going to be trained. They're going to be trained better. They need to be talked up better or something like that. That dude, I mean, what training are they even doing anyway? That dude who hit that woman was released from prison something like 13 times.
Oh, yeah.
Across years, all for violent attacks, many of them for violent attacks on women.
While his family was begging people to take him, like begging the government to take him in because he's schizophrenic.
Yeah. I don't get it, man. Speaking of which, stereotype accuracy is one of the largest and most replicable effects in all of social psychology. It's been around for, yeah. Well, that's something they've known for a long while, man. Doesn't mean everybody. Nobody ever said it means everybody, but stereotype accuracy is heavily observable, like you observe things in research and science. But
you want to know what one of the weird black people stereotypes? It's banal, so it's not like it's racist, but it's one of the weird black people stereotypes that was confirmed to me when I had a black coworker a couple years ago. Was if you make them laugh hard enough, they'll leave the room. They just like
yeah. That's also if you tell them if you show them a magic trick is one of them, like a magic trick, and they'll go running out of the room.
I mean, they come right back, but
Yeah.
it's like a thing, like I don't know, a cultural thing. They leave the room
you
just
had
to
that,
show you how fucking funny it was.
You had that stereotype of white guys, which I think is totally true. Of like they do the thin lip nod thing. I think it's 100%. I 100% do that.
I do it. I hate it so much. It's so gay.
But what you can do? This is Jackson Washburn said he didn't like Hassan Piker being in his party, and these Democrats are standing up. Bill Maher is saying none of this stuff. I mean, I guess Mamdani got booed in a place, and I guess they did vote out that Han girl. But I like this. This is a representation of the Democrats trying to keep the DSA people out of their party. Can't play the music. I don't know if I trust the music.
Run, you idiot.
Get him out of the party. Get him out of the party. You can do it. You can do it. Keep him.
This is just every part of this sucks. God, ow. I feel for her, but it's like, lady, come on. At one point, you were walking after it. Like, I know you're probably not in shape, but adrenaline kicks in. Anybody can run at 4 miles an hour for a brief stint.
The feminization hypothesis is most definitely got a major effect. Not only sociology, but all mental health disciplines as well. Make no mistake about this. This is catastrophic catastrophic for rigorous science. The feminization of all our sense-making institutions is a national crisis. I really don't want the feminization hypothesis to be right, but when you see the results like these from Horowitz' 2018 survey of social faculty, 14% response rate. Sociology should both be a scientific and moral enterprise.
Oh, fuck off.
Women 81-12, men 58-25. Sociology should analyze and transcend depression. Women 73-10, men 51-20. I support Marx's dictum to change the world. Women 74%, 56-20.
What the fuck?
Opponents of gay marriage should not be sociologists. Oh, they disagreed on that. Sociologists should try to foster community consensus. Mostly women agree with that sort of stuff, but pursuing social justice not incompatible with accurate research. Women 70, well, men are pretty high on that one too. Yeah. They saw that forever ago. You see that? You followed that Saeed NSA dude, DSA dude, the Saeed Michigan guy.
I know he's had like Hassan in his campaign shit.
Yeah, here's this Hassan talking about him.
Your sister, and then maybe even we're going to keep bringing in immigrants in this country on purpose, just so they can fuck your sister. And then maybe even your daughter. We're going to destroy the white race, bitch. That's what we're
that was making the rounds this week. I mean, he was probably just trying to tell a joke or something, whatever at the moment, but also believes that. I had some clip of that Saeed dude. He was like in like the nicest town in Michigan saying just how much he hates it. Like they caught him on a hot mic that he just hates the place.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is it like rural?
Yeah, just because it's rural.
Yeah, it's people that didn't vote for him then.
Here's an idea that London's coming up with.
That 1,200 young men are going to need in the middle of a village like Little Piddington is a brothel. I don't think they're going to provide that. I have a feeling that's not going to be allowed. But
wait. Oh,
that's real?
Is she being cheeky?
No, she actually believes that, and another guy came out saying it too.
She's not totally wrong. if you're gonna just let third worlders flood your fucking country, then
you could help.
Give them some whores, or they're gonna rape.
Yeah.
I mean, you could cut out the middleman and just stop letting third worlders flood your country. But I think the ship sailed on that one. You guys fucked up.
Have you noticed a change in sort of demographics, the people who live here and so on?
Not. It hasn't changed in any great deal, to be honest with you.
Do you think that was true of 2005?
There's a lady in a burqa walked behind him while he was saying that.
So when 9/11 happened, right? I'm pretty sure I'd heard of like the Muslims and Islam before, but I was also like, who, what? The ones from Indiana Jones, you know what I mean? Like I had to go like look them up, you know what I mean, and look up what the religion was. Like, what's all this? What's this? I forgot what. And now, walking my dog behind my parents' house along the Jordan River, I come across the Muslim Islamic Center, like built for thousands of people. Yeah, and that's just in 20 years, type deal. But I'm sure Britain's different. We'd have to ask Flip how that's changed or grown around him. But
I mean, last time he was there, he just counted the Turkish barber shops that were within eyesight of his hotel.
Yeah, he said there was tons of them. But I mean, I guess they say you invade the world and you bring the world here or something like that. I guess it's our problem, our fault. One of the big problems with them is this, that there's Dearborn right now, which has a totally Islamic government. But in Dearborn alone, 98% of Muslims voted for El Said. There's also another thing that in primaries, only 10% of people vote. In Muslims, 95% of people vote.
Jesus.
So does it take
Why
that
doesn't
big
it-
of a block to change everything?
Why doesn't a right-wing Muslim try to run?
Are there?
I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. I get it would be difficult because no conservative is going to vote you on an open border policy, and no Muslim immigrant is going to vote you on a strict border policy.
Oh, all this stuff. I mean, I what's just whacked out to me about it is, you know, still like in the ex-Mormon world and all that stuff, they're still so concerned about the conservatism of Mormonism, and right under their noses, the 10 times more conservative theme.
Well, I told you about my
dropping.
So I think I've told the story about my most upvoted and controversial post on the ex-Mormon subreddit, where I was just like, guys, we got to be honest about Islam. Like, that was the title of it, and this was like in 2015, back when that was like a hot button issue, and I just, it's not a good religion, guys. It's not like Mormonism. Okay, it's totally different. Like, ex-Muslims would kill to be able to leave their religion in the way that we did, where we just get, like, at worst, we get dirty looks or notes from our grandma about how she's disappointed or some shit like that. And they got so, like, they were coming down my throat. And the people that defended me were the ex-Muslims. Like, it got cross-posted in ex-Muslim.
Oh,
and
wow.
they came out and they was like, guys, no, Islam is, yeah, maybe you can't wear tank tops at Thanksgiving without pissing off your mom. I can't go back to my home country because I came out as gay and they'll kill me.
Yeah. Bogosian had on an excellent Muslim who's talking about, like, you do not know what's coming for you and what they're going to do to you. But if they take over, but not like that's happening tomorrow. I mean, I still feel it's like totally stoppable and blockable, and I do feel somewhat heartened that middle of the road Dems are starting to push back on the DSA, and that Hong thing went the other way, you know.
Having a hard time finding all the African and Middle Eastern immigrants who made UK a great nation. You know, I always talk about how annoying the neocons are with how they pander to Israel. Like, I'm not even anti-Israel at all. It's just they cuck to Israel. They talk. It's like, you guys. Well, it's like a husband cucking to his wife and being like, "I'm the lucky one. I grovel at your feet. I'd be nothing without you." Meanwhile, she's like a housewife and he's a self-made millionaire or some shit like that. But this is even more insulting. This shit, like when all the Somali scam shit came out, and all those politicians were like, Somalis are the backbone of the nation. What the fuck are you talking about?
They just got here and they just got straight to stealing.
Yeah, they helped build Minnesota. They did not. I'm not even trying to shit on them. They did not. Like, I'm glad we could help out some Afrikaners and bring them to the U.S. and they could be productive farmers. They didn't build America, though. I'm not going to cuck to them like that and be like, you're the reason this nation is great.
That's so goofy. So, Flip's in London right now. Like, how close to this do you think it looks to him?
Oh, maybe a little bit. Nope, not at all.
Pretty close. Did you?
Pretty close.
Anyway, putting the woke away and all that sorts of stuff. This whole article came out in the Atlantic. I read the whole thing. It was really long. Christopher got us like a workaround for it. This Tyler Austin Harper in the Atlantic. He just went through kind of like a long thing that we've probably all heard a million different times of how goofy academia got. But one of the things that he complained about, which I'd never even thought about, was he was a black guy who didn't want to participate in it. And they recruited him in to have to be a person who also had to like show up at these dumb events and be a thing and be some sort of person for their look. Like he said, it made just a ton of extra work he never wanted to do either. Like, made him show up at places and have to give dumb speeches and stuff like that. But
An actual token.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of wild because the Atlantic putting out a big long thing on how like goofy that stuff all got, and AOC saying that. I mean, there used to be a long debate between Arnold McIntyre and Academic Agent that they were going to put the woke away, and it seemed like for the first little while, for sure, RN won that they're not putting the woke away. But now it sounds like, especially as we're a year or something out from the elections, they're trying to, at least in their framing, put the woke away.
Yeah, no gaslight off rim for this one. I'm sorry, like because at that point they're not really putting it away; they're just hiding it. They still, because like you said, they still have all the same goals. Like they still want to abolish the police, and they signal that to their base. Because if their base wasn't retarded, all they would have to do when they say, "Are you still in favor of abolishing the police?" They'd say, "Oh no, absolutely not. No, no." And their base would know, "Oh, yep, that's a wink and a nod." But they have to kind of signal to their base by doing the dumbest non-answers.
Yeah, it's. I mean, all it is, like we said, they're just going to try to change their framing for a while, at least until they get an election in. I don't know. Should we talk Mormon stuff, or do we want to keep talking DSA? Hassan Piker, being an apologist for Mao, and Dave Smith trying to take him on. And
I hope that debate happens. I think Hassan is dumb enough to actually do it.
He might, but he just does this millennial woes thing of here it is again. It's amazing how much leftist discourse is just them pretending not to understand things, thus making discourse impossible. And he has no like shyness or embarrassment just to put on that face when he does it. Here's the Saeed dude saying he hates Michigan. Like, look at this town.
You're still on. Oh.
I hate Mackinac so much. It's funny because, like, if we win, this is going to be the, like, summer home. I'm just going to be like, every time I've ever come here, I've hated it. Why am I here?
How do you hate that?
This white picket fence neighborhood where, like, you could go without any security at all and have no risk. You could accidentally leave your door wide open all night, and the worst thing that would happen is one of your neighbors would like close it and text you and say, "Hey, I closed your door, buddy. I think you accidentally left it open. Sorry if it was on purpose." And I closed. But this is, why don't you just? There's cameras. You're right in front of cameras. How is this a hot mic thing?
Yeah.
Like, how is this? I don't understand hot mic events. It's kind of like at work, right? This one of my coworkers, the lesbian that told me that we could just abolish money. She likes to shit talk people, and she's so bad at it because she shit talks people that like could be right around the corner. Like this guy's like, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom," and he leaves the room, and we're sitting in the room, and she just immediately starts shit talking, and she keeps doing it for a while, and I'm trying to like get her off it because I'm like, dude, he could, or our boss did the same thing the other day. She starts shit talking our boss. Like, dude, she could be right around the corner. She'll be back any second. She could have forgotten. Let's wait until we are out in the open and we're like walking somewhere and we can look around and make sure she's not around. Like, be careful about your shit talking, you idiot. And this guy has a camera pointed at his fucking face.
Yeah.
I hate this place. I'm going to buy a home here. What are you talking about? Why would you buy a home there? You don't.
It'd be like the second home after he gets voted in.
Yeah, I know.
They have to be there.
If I bought a second home, it would not be in a place that I hated.
But what if you were voted the governor king of it?
It's he wants to hate it.
Yeah. And he probably wanted that leak that he was saying that about anyway.
Everyone's saying "Rip Sky King."
Was it yesterday? Like, what was the actual date of the?
I didn't know it was an anniversary. I haven't seen anything about that.
It was an anniversary.
It's like sad. They got the music going, and he's got that haunting phrase where he's talking to the guy. And he's like, just an odd guy, a few screws loose.
August 10th. August 10th, 2018. So it was 8 years ago.
8 years ago, damn.
Yeah, August 10th is my dad's birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have. I doxed him.
Oh, fuck.
Damn it.
His name is Hakeem Hanna.
Yes.
So,
Hakeem Al-Jaweed Hanna. Did you just see, speaking of like you just train him up? Did you see this video? They covered it. Oh, speaking of Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens debate coming down tomorrow.
is it really? Like, is it gonna happen? You think?
No, I think no. I think
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I give it higher chances than ever, but I still put it at 50-50 if she finds some way to bail out.
She's gonna bail out. She's dumb, but she's smart enough to not debate smart people, right?
This is just AI, but I think it's kind of funny. Hanania poking out here, like this. He's wearing a gold suit jacket, standing there as the person. Like this is like framed as a that's the actual post that they put up of the thing, and it's framed like a Friday Night Fight.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like maybe Michael Knowles is right about this, but did you see? Did you see this? Hold on.
The petrol song?
Oh man, what I'm about to show you is going to make you laugh to death. There's a song that was made by the Australian government for the Aboriginals about how you shouldn't
I've seen this.
petrol gasoline from a can.
The song will work.
Up right now, it's the gasoline song, right?
Oh, no.
It is you just be prepared. You're going to laugh yourself to death.
Oh my God! Here don't be Rama Rama or Burton. Is this it? Put the headphones on.
Yeah.
It was showing the video.
No.
Why is it not showing the
don't
video?
Sniff.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Oh, step on the bottle.
We can't sniff forever.
Show me brother, and we stand strong for one another. Come on, come on, come on, come on, yeah! Come on, come on. We put the leaders over the islands. You don't sniff
petrol from a can.
Oh, Christ.
You put your petrol in the car, it stays. It's messing with your brains.
Okay. If you could tell me, I wish Flip were here to ask this question too, because I like asking it to him. He always gets it. If you could tell me one 100% certain thing about the demographic of person who had this idea, what could you tell me?
Oh, liberal white woman, HR lady.
I was just gonna say woman, but yeah. Woman. This was a woman's idea. If it's not, I will be shocked.
I just saw a video. It was really good by that same lady we were talking about last week from the gaming industry, who she was talking about how it's HR that killed the gaming industry.
Oh yeah,
pretty good video. Just came out today. Cool video. I'll show a cool video now. Just to check this out with the eclipse. Check out this shot this guy got.
Oh, that's fucking cool. Holy shit. That's awesome. Is that in India?
I don't know.
I don't know. Dude, I'll tell you, African skaters are fucking crazy. Like, it's wild watching, because there's Africans are getting really into skateboarding in certain countries. I don't know which ones. But they don't have as many paved roads in a lot of those places. They'll skate dirt, and they'll do like dirt gaps. They'll kickflip a fucking dirt canal from dirt to dirt. It's fucking cool to see. But the Japanese are the craziest. Like once the Japanese got a hold of skating, they're dominating. They train their kids at like Olympic levels. So there's like 7-year-olds that can do like McTwist hard flip to a dark slide. Nose
that picture
manual.
is crazy though. I can't believe they got that. That was a good
No,
one.
that is an awesome picture. That's cool as shit.
Well, we don't got to worry about the DSA too much because they just all call each other racist.
Blackness and white supremacy in YDSA, chapters and national must run campaigns which resonate across racial divisions, standardize and improve chapter grievance processes and culture, conduct intentional leadership development of marginalized comrades, build anti-racist education and practice and for standard member development and culture.
YDSA, like, honestly, you have the look of like being super white, being super male centered, being super like paternalistic.
Right, with the risk of the Manhattan Institute guy seeing this, I am a Marxist.
I think the issue is that we have a issue of maintaining abusers, racists, and harassers in our organization, and we are not getting rid of them. Nobody is taking the initiatives to actually.
Well, that just goes and goes, as you can imagine it. But tired of listening to him. I saw somebody saying the only thing worse than being run by theater kids is third world theater kids. Oh, actually, I have it here. Yeah. Oh, this is that dude, that our day dude or whatever. That day. He put out some. Oh, I can't put the music. He put out some video of like doing Blues Clues too on how to vote, like Bluey, how to vote stuff. The only thing worse than being governed by theater kids is being ruled by third world theater kids. I don't know. I'm tired of commies and debates and commies. Speaking of weird commies, Tucker's been talking like a commie. He's dropping like his whole stuff of like going on in the future, but like he had on this lady yesterday who was talking about economics. He just kind of like quietly brought her on, and the lady's super angry about the privatization of companies in the U.S. You know, and
that's a good point. I've never thought of that.
Yeah, and he had on Hunter Biden and helped Hunter Biden like wash that it was completely like a hoax that his laptop was released at all or anything.
Did you see the Freedom Tunes?
Yeah, the commercial stuff's so good. Like
that was the funniest part.
He constantly talks about usury, and then talks about getting a second mortgage in the commercial in the very next thing. He does that all the time. I mean, he definitely is like leaning towards socialisty stuff, but he has a tricky way of delivering it. But so debate stuff would maybe Hassan and Dave would debate. Dave got off of his Iran spurting for just a little bit to put out a really good episode dunking on Hassan, butt licking Mao Zedong. And Actual Justice Warrior put out a good video today because Jank on the Piers Morgan show dodged and said that he apologized for the stuff and he doesn't really like it. And of course, AJW has all the receipts of how many times Hassan has glazed Mao Zedong. And Dave Smith wants to take him on about Mao Zedong. And he goes over Hassan just listening to it and doing the millennial woes thing. Like, what? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't get what you're saying. What's going on here? What is this? Oh, he's such a child how he talks too.
He's such a baby. Like, I mean, the most frustrating part of that, I know everybody got mad at him for shocking his dog, but my biggest beef with that is how much of a pussy he sounded. He does that whiny voice thing like, Kaya, come on, stop.
Yeah, he totally does. Do you see that old debate they had in England about Islam and stuff?
Brilliant setups.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Debate, anticipating your.
Do you know that one of these things? This girl here tells him that if you tell us that we're not modern, if you go outside, they're gonna beat you up.
I know.
And she's on the side of that they're not violent. You know.
She's like, it's thanks
of
to
a
me.
Muslim Palestinian president and a mostly South Asian executive committee, you would be quite literally cooked.
Like why? Like you're on the side of debating that, but then Lawrence Fox, of course, threatens to
societal norms of their host country. 24% sympathise with violence organised by groups to protect their religion.
What does it mean to protect your religion? If someone draws a cartoon of Muhammad, is it justified to protect your religion to say, nope, can't do that? And that's the point he makes.
So let's get this out, shall we? 78% of British Muslims believe that no publication should publish pictures of Muhammad.
Anyone who were to do what he's saying he's about to do would have a target on their back for the rest of their lives.
An overwhelming majority. That rises That right?
You still can't get a hold of the South Park Muhammad episodes, can you? They're like still banished. Yeah.
I don't know.
I've been thinking of rewatching South Park from the start because I can't find anything lately that doesn't just drive me crazy.
Yeah. That's why I find things that drive me crazy on purpose.
Yeah, I guess that's the only option now is the hate watch stuff.
To 87%. That's 9 out of every 10 Muslims that are walking the streets today in a country which absolutely abandoned blasphemy laws.
And I'm watching this thinking, wait, if he pulls this cartoon out, will I even be able to show this on YouTube?
Suspicion is not strong enough a word. The West should resist Islam in the strongest terms on free speech grounds alone. So here we are with this cartoon, right? And it's time to show that I will not submit.
And you begin to see the hall start to panic. People start to interject to try and stop this because this is forbidden.
I will not adhere to the religious laws of far-off places. Now, my wife asked me not to show this for fear of repercussions in my family, but I told her that if I did not, then I had already submitted to Islam. So here we are.
Is it not enough that half the team that invited you to this debate were Muslim women who wanted to hear out your expression and your arguments?
Is it not enough that you are here and we allowed this debate? This, sir, is a bridge too far. Do not pull out a cartoon.
Is it not enough that I, as a Muslim president, have invited you to this chamber to give your arguments? Is that not enough justification and evidence for you to believe that we do believe in free speech? I will not become the president of a free speech society if not for it.
Thank you, all right. May I? Thank you very much. May I finish? Excuse me.
And then another guy from their side stands up.
It's a long time since I've been in this chamber and knew the rules off by heart. In the House of Commons, and
This
we
guy,
model
he
ourselves
sounds
in
so
the House of Commons.
prissy.
Props are not allowed.
Props are not allowed. How dare you? It is like a cartoon itself.
I wonder whether the rule on props is the same in the Oxford Union.
I thank the honourable gentleman for his point of order.
Excuse me for 1 second.
One moment.
In the
One moment,
absence,
Mr. Fox,
in the
one moment.
absence-
One moment, Mr. Fox. The ex-president is also raising a point of order, I think.
And then something interesting occurs. Someone stands up in the back that pushes this forward.
Just so it's helpful to inform the ex-member and others, at least my 4 years involved with society, that ban was not extended and didn't seem to apply to Israel and Palestine flag.
Thank you. So, right. I just want to wrap this up.
I am going to rule on the point of order.
And props to the moderator for allowing him to do this.
There is no bar in the forms of the House against the use of props. However, I would encourage Mr. Fox to make the point and move on.
I was until points of order. So it is in that spirit that I will not submit that I show you this as an Englishman who believes in free speech. I will not submit. I will not bow down. Right. So.
Is that the meme, the Norman Rockwell painting meme of free speech?
That's just
You know that picture?
no, but it's fucking awesome.
Norman Rockwell. I mean, he became a big free speech.
Oh, the standing guy, you mean?
I think that's what he showed as the face of this dude here.
Oh, yeah.
But you'll see people post that online of when they're making like a hot take, and they'll put that up in there. Here's my hot take. I'm tired of Democrats, socialists, and commies. I'm tired of the commies. Enough commie talk. Don't commie talk. Anything you want to say on the commies? Oh, I guess the debate stuff. Who's going to win the debates? If Hassan and Dave have a debate, Hassan will play dumb, and Dave will wipe the floor with him, and then Hassan will just
He's going to
go
look
back and
fucking
whine about
stupid.
it.
But
I don't think that'll happen.
Here's my prediction for the Candace Owens one. I think it'll happen, and it'll last maybe
3 minutes?
5-10 minutes max.
It'll be just like the
Before she freaks out and storms off, and that's what she planned to do ahead of time.
Yeah, even if she has to give the money back. That's why he put the caveat that she has to pay the money back if he doesn't the whole thing. What if she holds on to the money though? I don't know. I could see her toughing it out too, and just playing stupid and playing dumb, and like she did with Pierce Morgan or whoever else, just pretend like she didn't say something. I didn't say it that way. I didn't say that, type deal. See, Tyler Robinson's defense team said today that he does not deserve the death penalty because the only target was Charlie Kirk, basically admitting that he targeted Charlie Kirk.
Wait, why does that make him not deserving of the death penalty?
Because nobody else was in danger there.
Well, I mean, they absolutely were. That bullet could have hit any number of people. It could have. What do you fucking? He fired a bullet in a crowd. He hit the guy he was trying to hit. He could have hit anyone. He could have hit someone behind Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
But even so, he killed a guy. You can't. Yeah. Your Honor, my client only killed one guy. He does not deserve the death penalty.
Well, done with commies and done with Candace's stuff. I'm so tired of all that stuff too. Mormons. The Mormons flips out the play. I guess the Mormon dude passed away this week. We weren't super familiar with him.
Oh yeah,
I'd seen some of his stuff. Died in a car crash. I watched Jacob's video on him. I've seen him in a couple other videos and stuff, but
I'd probably see him. I mean, it's
eating on a mic. What?
It's obviously really sad. Like it's.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know him. I don't know if he was.
I've seen some of his videos. It kind of seemed to be like typical kind of apologetics. I was saying that I saw him go after that String dude and that Jimmy Rex guy for saying that nobody said over the pulpit that blacks would never get the priesthood. You're lying liars. And he knows those guys personally. So, but I don't know. I think that's like a fair enough to mistake or whatever to make if that was a thing. I don't know. It's sad. I know right where he got killed too. It's not a very fast street, so I don't know how it happened. I'm kind of curious about that. Bummerness for that.
Yeah.
Casey posted this. Mormons can wear tank tops and garments now, which makes me want to start a Mormon themed OnlyFans. I'd call it head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Silly.
Taylor Petrie put out a stupid tweet. Showed the stupid tweet, and then Jonathan dunked on him, but not enough people saw the dunk, so we should have a couple more who are on here. When I was at divinity school, I heard this joke for the first time. At a secular university, someone will stab you in the back. At a religious university, they'll stab you in the back and tell you that Jesus told them to. It's funny, but it illuminates a church problem pretty clearly. So then Jonathan posted, at a normal university, someone will stab you in the back. Normal university, oh, why? At a postmodern university, they'll stab you in the back and then deconstruct the concept of stabbing until the knife, the wound, and your pain are all just competing narratives with equal validity. So is it really stabbing, or is it a performative act of narrative intervention? It feels pretty real to me. Your wound is a valid lived experience, but it's still just one narrative. The knife is just a social construct. In some cultures, it's a tool of care. Your pain reinforces the victim-perpetrator binary. Let's queer that. Epistemic equivalence. All stories deserve equal weight. Knife as text, symbol, signifier, not inherently violent. I mean, it's still totally true, but Rob Henderson always says a joke. I've repeated it a couple times that two modern day therapists or sociologists or academics or modern day criminologists, government criminologists walking out of a bar and they see somebody beat up and bloodied on the street and they look at each other and say, we need to find who did this and get them some help.
We should have prevented. This is a failure of the system.
Yeah. Jonathan had more of them there. That I don't know if he saw that he was I showing this from what was I even showing at the time?
You were showing the Jonathan.
It was there.
Tweets.
Yeah,
or
so
not the tweets. You were showing the texts that he sent us.
Oh well, that was the wrong thing. This is him actually commenting on it on Taylor Petrie's Twitter thing.
Yeah, those comics he made were great.
Yeah, he made more of them. This is another one. Tell of two campuses at two Chad. Nothing personal. Just how the world works. Gender studies. The knife is a social construct. Your pain is gendered. Deconstructing the knife. Real violence is the binary. Wait, what? Did Jonathan get that one posted too? Let's see what he did.
No.
Maybe I can post this one. I'll post it right now. Paste. Oh, I can't just paste a picture. Dang it. Anyway. Normandy stuff. This is more common than we have a stake presidency member who wears a rainbow pin on his lapel every week, except when there is a visiting GA.
You fucking pussy. Come on. Stand on your principles, you abject fucking pussy.
Here's a fight club point of view. You host a fight night with your friends, but it's obviously in some LDS cultural hall. I mean, they obviously snuck in, or had one of their kids, one of the dad's things.
Oh yeah, dude. A mom would put a stop to this shit.
Well, there's no way that they would let it from the leadership either.
Well, I told you about our tape ball, didn't I?
Yeah, but this is a full-on boxing thing. You think they'd let them do full-on boxing? I mean, it's still less violent than ward ball. Still less violent than ward ball. But.
Here's the thing. I don't think they understood when we said tape ball. It's basically like balls of tape and you play dodgeball, right? And so I think people, they just think like a wadded up soft piece of tape. So it's like, if it hits you, it just kind of bounces off. Now, these were wound. These were like as hard as fucking baseballs. And we were just hucking them at each other. I think the only reason we were allowed to do it is because they didn't understand how much it hurt. And it hurt, but it was so fucking awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it was passed off on, I mean, maybe they're getting less. I mean, AOC's putting the woke away, and the LDS Church is getting the balls back. Yeah, right.
No,
there's
they're
no
not.
way
No,
that
this was not passed off.
There is zero chance. Listen to this meeting. Why does it always start? How come everywhere I go, something will just start playing and it'll be like at full volume or something, but like when I need it to on this, it always starts muted.
I know. It's annoying.
Yeah, one of the comments that I think we've been hearing is why didn't we reduce sacrament time in order to accommodate this? And I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Elder Roman, the instruction is that it's up to 60 minutes for sacrament. It could be less. I think there's a tendency on bishops' parts or to fill the hour. They get up if there's extra time. They get up and fill. Let's go ahead and close early and get started in the others. So I think that's.
You can do that?
Well, you tell me.
First presidency. Yes, you can. It's up to. Yeah. I think that the difficult will do now. The impossible will take a while.
Look at that crowd. That's almost 1955 London. There are two black guys out there. There's some Polynesians and some Asians.
But it's critical that it ends on time.
Yeah.
And that takes planning. It's planning and focus so that they recognize this is a sacrament meeting where we have a young missionary returning home and reporting. We're going to have a lot more people there. How are we going to deal with that? We have 5 babies we're blessing. How are we going to deal with that? And we never want to do anything but reverence the sacrament. We don't want that to feel rushed in any way, shape, or form. But there are ways that they need to think through, and instead of X number of speakers, they have X minus 1 number of speakers. But other thoughts?
Wow. You're addressing the hard-hitting questions there, aren't you, buddy?
Well, I mean, one of the worst things in the world for me when I was young is we had this bishop who got up and talked afterwards, no matter what.
Oh.
And sometimes we'd be like 15 minutes over. It was one of my best friend's dad too, but like we hated him for it. Like if it was 15 minutes over and that was the last meeting of the day, he would still get up and put a cap on everything. And the sense of feeling that they need to fill out the hour or go on longer is part of what would drive you insane or nuts and that stuff. It's weird that they're constantly talking about cutting down or cutting out. Like they finally figured out that that was some sort of issue. But is it just me, or does sitting in a room like that with a bunch of dudes in suit and ties like that not have the spiritual feeling to you that they always said it was supposed to have? Like,
I mean, this is all business, you know.
Like to me, the feeling and the sentiment of that aren't having.
Sorry, you cut out.
The very first time that we went into the giant missionary meeting, like the weekly Tuesdays at the MTC, where we all just went in one big auditorium. This might be there for all I know. It kind of looks like it, but it just felt so goofy and weird. It felt so weird being on, just all of us just sitting there in suits and ties, sitting there in this auditorium like that. It always felt queasy to me. Stuff that was supposed to feel spiritual felt queasy to me. Was that because I was out of tune with the spirit? I didn't have the spirit.
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
It's always on me.
I didn't either, though. I guess because it first and foremost was just so dull, you know. And anytime you bring that up, like the talks at church are boring. There's always some guy that blames you. Like, no, there's always something you can learn from anyone. So it's your fault you're bored.
It's funny because
coming from, but there's some people who are boring.
The second time Cardin had me on, he never had me on again. I think he didn't. He might have even buried it. But I said that, like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just spiritually autistic or something. That's what it has to do with this stuff, because it's just honestly true that all the places that I was supposed to go and feel extra spiritual in were the exact places that I was like, I feel like this doesn't fit and sticks out right and doesn't feel right to me. Just sitting in a room with all these people like this, you know, dressed this way, or sitting in a temple or something like that. Every place that was supposed to be the most spiritual is where I felt least comfortable. Maybe it's because I'm
Oh, dude, I remember when my younger brother went through the temple the first time before his mission, and like I'm sitting there, I'm feeling this pressure to like pretend this is this awesome, amazing spiritual experience. I'm literally sitting there like trying to make myself cry. And I just can't do it. Like I'm trying to look at it and be like, this is beautiful, isn't it? Like I'm joking. My brother, he's going, fuck, I can't do it. This is boring.
You asked the guys, was it in Lobsters or Thoughtful Faith, if they actually really did for sure, for real, like their missions.
Yeah,
I didn't read a bunch of the answers. Like, what did they say? Did they all say that we all totally did?
Pretty much all of them said yes.
100% of them said they liked it.
I said pretty much. I think there was a couple that said they didn't or something. I don't know. And
is that the entire barometer? Is if you like a mission or not? Is if you'll stay or not?
No, because I know people who left the church who loved their missions. Like, I don't know. I know my sister-in-law loved her mission, and she's not in the church. I know if Morgan served a mission, I know she would have loved it.
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm more inclined to believe women when they say that they enjoy missions. I think it's structured in a way that women would enjoy a lot more than men. Just the mission culture, because that was the thing I didn't like, was the mission culture. I liked going to a foreign country. I liked learning another language. I liked walking around and talking to random people. I really did. Like, I enjoy that stuff.
I didn't like talking to random people because, of course, we were having to talk. Pushing our shit on them, or feel the need to push our shit on them.
See, I would just let them talk because I know you're supposed to.
No, it's fun when I got to that level with people, but at first, or even after a while, I would feel the guilt that I'm supposed to be pushing the gravy.
See, I just always felt guilt, so I was kind of immune to it. You know, I was just numb to it. So I never felt guilty about baptism numbers or lesson numbers. I'd call my zone leader at the end of the week and give him my numbers and like, what can we do to get you to do more lessons? I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
I'd feel guilty. I'd let it eat at me. I'd feel guilty if I hung out at people's houses too much and I wouldn't like hang and watch TV or play games and stuff like that.
See, for me, it was mostly I already felt like I was unworthy to be there in the first place because I never cleared up looking at boobs on the internet with my bishop. So I knew that like all of my efforts were meaningless So
I mean, one of the reasons, because I've said it before, I went hard and I went all the way hard. And most people, I was still pretty honest with everybody. I didn't like it and wasn't having any fun. But pretty early out there, I did the math in my head that if I hate this bad and I don't want to be here this bad, I am wasting my time if I'm not doing it. Like, why don't I just go home? I should just go home if I'm not doing it. So I better just do it, or it's a waste. And I don't want to waste my time. So I did it.
I went through the whole thing knowing it was a waste. Like,
yeah, I don't think I could have survived that.
I mean, it sucked. I was just too much of a pussy to go home and like face everyone having gone home early.
Yeah. I had the added thing that I had a girlfriend back home, and that, at least for the first while, even a little while after, and there's the whole pressure that if I go back, everybody will think that she was banging me.
Yeah. See, my girlfriend would have been more incentive to go home because she wasn't Mormon.
Yeah. I mean, there is that whole pressure that, like, I had to think about what people would think of her if I went home.
Yeah, it's like you got to start every conversation with, "It wasn't her fault. Like, she didn't blow me. I promise."
Yeah.
Babe, I'm so sorry that people think you're a whore now.
Yeah. My nephew got home today. I haven't seen him yet. It just made me think about that moment of getting home myself. And like, I still don't think I've processed how happy I was about that. People say I haven't processed the trauma. I haven't processed how happy I was about finishing.
Oh my God. It was
the longest, hardest thing ever.
I'm not kidding you. Until my kid was born, that was the single best day of my life, getting back from my mission. Like, just like a death, I don't think I've allowed myself to feel the full happiness of it yet. Like, I need to process how happy I was landing on that plane. Do you know those guys? You remember those guys when the first Avatar came out who like got suicidal after watching it because Pandora isn't real?
Yeah.
It felt like one of those guys actually getting to go to Pandora. That's what it felt like. I'm serious. I dreamed of Idaho Falls.
Yeah.
Like at least 3 to 4 times a week, every fucking week for 2 years. Like, I dreamt of it. And there's no other, this is something good my mission did for me, I guess. There's no other circumstance I can imagine in life where you dream about a place so often that it starts to feel like a fantasy, and then you actually get to go there.
The countdown like felt insufferable, but
like maybe prison. I'm sure prison gets that worse. You know,
I bet you prison feels a bit the same, just in the sense of, I mean, you got to do different wild things on the mission and whatever, but I remember it used to just break my head. I would do math like this in my brain. What was I doing 4 weeks ago? I was doing this. What will I be doing 6 weeks, 2 days from now? I will be doing this. What will I be doing 1 year, 3 months, and 7 days from now? I will be doing this. Like just that there was zero variety in it besides variety within, teaching.
Oh yeah. It was, and then
that cracked my young brain. My young brain would just sit there and for some reason fester on that.
And then you hit your year mark and somebody's like, man, halfway there, and you're just like, oh fuck, I have to do that again.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
You see yourself like, it'll just be hit a year and it's all down here. Just hit a year and it's all down here, and then you get there and it's like, it's not any better.
No.
And you want to know what? It didn't even feel that much better 2 weeks left. You know what I mean? Like 2 weeks left. Like, I still got this 2 weeks.
You almost expect to like get this feeling of like, you know what? I am gonna miss this. No. On my last transfer, I remember we go to the bus station where all the missionaries are meeting to go to their places, and except me and a couple others, we're going to the mission president's house, and I pull out my shitty guitar and I start singing John Denver Leaving on a Jet Plane. I'm just as stoked as I can be. And I'm not hiding it. Like, I'm not pretending that I want to stay here any longer. And then the mission president is like, yeah, we're going to go do a session in the temple before. He goes, do we have to? Can I just go? I don't care. I don't want to see this.
Mr. Croissant says, I was so happy to just end it near the same thing after my Eagle Scout of Honor. I never want to talk about it again, but I actually liked my mission, but I never have to talk about it. I love Mexico. I love the thing, but I hated every second of doing that. Blue Meanie, this would be a nightmare for me. I thought about this happening to people. And he was right at the time frame. 2 months before my end date, they put missions back up to 2 years from 18 months. I had a choice to extend, but I'm glad they gave you a choice, because I mean, that one girl who said she was there during COVID, she said that she claimed she was forced to stay because they didn't count the 4 months that they sent her back.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah, I sympathize with her, because I mean, that sounds like, that would have pissed me off. It's something fierce, just even delaying doing everything else. But I mean, I remember that sense of like 1 year, 2 months, I'll be doing this, like just the sense of like, I don't know the concept of I'm looking forward to this day besides that one day of going home. You know what I mean?
know.
Like right now, I mean, I've got a couple gigs in Moab, and we're probably going to float the river at the end of this month. I can look forward to 2 weeks to that. There's a thing to look forward to. My family's getting together for some meal, and there's a thing to look forward to, even if it's just something small like that. I'm telling you, nothing like you will be doing exactly this 3 weeks from today. There's nothing to look forward to.
Oh yeah, that's people always talk about how like the fun stuff they did on their 21st birthday. Like, what'd you do on your 21st birthday? Like, dude, I allowed myself to stay up till 11, and I was playing solitaire and trying to learn to draw. Alone in a room and snacking on a couple of peanut butter M&Ms that my parents sent me.
I dead serious do not remember a thing about either of my birthdays when I was on my mission. I don't know what I did or didn't do. Actually, I only guess I would have spent only one on my mission, because I got home just before. I left right on my birthday, right after my birthday, and got home right before it.
Oh.
So I have no idea what happened like on the birthday day. The only day that I can remember being any different, besides being in different areas, was Christmas. Like, we couldn't go out on Christmas.
You couldn't?
No, they told us to not like really go out and knock on doors and stuff.
That's one of the dumbest things. Preach My Gospel seriously has in it like Christmas and other family gatherings are perfect opportunities to go proselytize to people because they're all together with their family.
Go bound in on somebody.
Yeah, I'm like,
they told us just to stay in.
Yeah, I remember one night on Christmas Eve, they let us stay out till midnight if we had a member that would give us a ride home.
We got to on the year 2000 with some members, but it was close. It was close to our house.
You were there during Y2K.
I was there during Y2K, and I was in the tiniest village that we drove. We drove to these companions' house, and we were staying at this companions' house, not companions. What do you say? Like zone leaders, the other missionaries around.
Yeah.
We drove to that, and it was middle of nowhere village, kind of a small house in a dark area. That's where I spent the year 2000.
Yeah, we were. That means we were both on our missions at the end of the world, because I was there during 2012.
Oh yeah, were people really going crazy about that? There was one of those on my mission. It was like December. It was like December 7th. There was some day that was. It wasn't as big as the 2012 freak out, but there was one of them that enough people were freaked out about. Yeah, I don't remember any other holiday being. Well, Halloween was different because all the kids were out doing their trick-or-treating stuff. And Mexican kids are weird because they'll just walk up to you to trick-or-treat, and you're supposed to give them a peso. And we didn't have pesos, so then we started hiding from them. So we were like running up and down the street hiding from the kids because we ran out of pesos. The mission, the fun old time, remembering the fun old mission. That doesn't mean I didn't have a couple fun times, but the fun times were always happened upon. They were never like,
well,
and they can't wait for this day here.
And they had nothing to do at all with mission work. Like, yeah. I remember sitting. I remember there was a bunch of boys in this ward that really liked us, and they invited us to come out. They had a bonfire. They just had a bonfire. We were sitting around, passing the mate around and passing the guitar around, playing different songs just by the beach. That was fucking awesome. Love that night. Or the night where it's too stormy to go outside. It's raining. So I'm sitting on my balcony, just drinking strawberry tea. And somebody just so happens next door to start blasting my favorite Chili Peppers song. I'm glad Flip's not here to tell his Chili Peppers joke.
We had a chili, like, I might have told this joke before, but my Louisiana companion, who I always make fun of how his accent was at the start, he got much better. But he still had the heavy Louisiana accent because he was a greenie when I was around him, and he bought Californication right when it came out.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he wanted to be a good missionary, and he said, "I'm not going to listen to this. I'm not going to listen to this till in the mission. I just wanted to have it. I want to buy it. I want to boost sales, but I won't listen to this until the mission's over." One morning, early morning, 5 a.m. I look across the room and he's like dancing like this, like he lost, like it was like somebody who like gave in and masturbated or something like that.
All around the world, we can make time.
Exactly, that came out
because I'm in my prime.
That just started blasting at like 5 a.m. and he was dancing like a maniac on the other side of the thing. And I woke up to it, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I couldn't hold it in. I couldn't hold. Oh my gosh!" And
that was me at the very end of my mission when the Killers album came out.
Oh, and you wanted to hear him?
Yeah, but I didn't try to wait. I just listened to it. Like I downloaded it on a P day, and it was their worst album, but I was still pretty stoked to hear it.
Well, I mean, I heard music. Isn't Brazil like this? I heard music all over Mexico all the time because they all have earphone problems. There was no earphones back then, but they all play music like overly loud. The problem is 90% of it was just like Mexican worksite music, cumbia stuff. But here and there, you'd hear 80s boot rock. They're kind of into that. Here and there, you'd hear Britney Spears and stuff. I heard Mambo No. 5, and I thought Mambo No. 5 I thought it was Mexican made.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was in English, but I thought it was like some kind of like ghetto Mexican made, just something that was popular with them. I didn't think it was popular in the United States. I had no idea. We'd hear Backstreet Boys all over the place.
I heard this song. It's called "Assim Você Me Mata," and it was a very popular Brazilian song that was popular everywhere in the world except for the U.S. because they played it all the time at soccer matches, and it was shit. It was catchy. Like, I didn't hate it, but you hear it multiple times every single day for 2 years, you start to get tired of it.
Yeah.
And then he did a translation of it. It was funny. I think I probably played it on here before, the English translation that he did to try to get it to catch on in America. And it sounds like he just plugged it into Google Translate. Because like nosa, it just is wow. And he didn't look for a 2-syllable word. So the chorus is nosa, nosa, assim você me mata. And so instead he goes, wow, wow. And the next part is funny because the idiom he just translated directly. He didn't look for an English idiom to fill it. So he goes, this way you're gonna kill me.
Oh, really?
It's not going to make sense to Americans, but because in Portuguese, it's just like, damn, girl, like, you are just hot as shit, But this way, you're gonna kill me.
Oh, man.
Oh, if I get you. Oh, my God, if I get you.
So I've said this before, but I was in Mexico when Shakira and Ricky Martin got huge. And they were huge in Mexico, and I had no idea that the Latin crossover had happened. Like I thought I was just listening to Mexican music. And when I went back to the States and there's Shakira and Ricky Martin, I was like, what is going on? Like I did not expect that. I thought that was just Mexican music. So it tripped me out. The Latin boom in the US happened when I was not there. I had no idea they got big.
We're going to look at that riveting Jim Bennett debate.
Yeah, if you want to talk abortion, first let's look at this. The Babylon Bee puts out church denominations by what coffee they serve. I don't know if that means Duncan, Southern Baptist, some friggin' Acts, Communion Church, Lower T Decreeing Church,
Soy milk something.
Good stuff, good stuff. Well, this guy said you forgot the Mormons.
Fucking white boy. Fucking white monsters. I know so many. My dad drinks so many monsters.
Really? You want to know what? I've never had one.
Well,
Never
you're not
want-
missing out. They're not good.
Are there 0-calorie ones?
Yeah, that white one is 0 calorie.
Charlie says, I discovered Mana and Ricardo Arjona on my mission. I served stateside, and when anyone asked, just said it was Spanish Christian rock. So it's okay. That's a good one. Mana is awesome. I love Mana. I play several of their songs. I play Rayando el Sol and Como Duele en los Labios, and I can play Huellas de San Blas. I was a big Mana fan, but I was. Well, I mean, I guess they didn't really do English because Ricky Martin and Shakira kind of did English, right? But they could do Spanish and English. But I always thought that there was better mega bands in Mexico there was another dude named Luis Miguel who was just as big as Ricky Martin in Mexico. And I was like, why wasn't he the one? I would have thought he would have been the big one, not Ricky Martin. But nope, it was Ricky Martin. But maybe just because he did some English, I guess. Check this, the Provo City Mayor.
Federally recognized refugees, and they are incredible and amazing, and they have gone through horrific things to get here, and I wish that we accepted more.
Oh, fuck you.
I think that we have ongoing pioneers. You know, that I think that these refugees that have come are really things. And so
their community.
Can you look at us and reach the pioneers? I don't know what it is. That's why I'm doing that.
Pioneer is a person who goes first to explore or settle a new place, or someone who goes first to create or develop new ideas, methods. And so that would be what the pioneers of Utah.
First tap, right, is what they do.
So there's just a fundamental difference between that and modern day refugees.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. So to me, what you read at the beginning is also what refugees do. They are the first, they are coming to this.
She saved it.
Welcoming, beautiful, amazing country. I think we have that. I really think we have that. If we're big enough, we're unselfish enough.
Does she think room is the problem?
I think Provo is not very big anymore, man. It's big as in it's growing a lot. Like it's getting stuff.
I mean,
up.
I was just thinking America as a landmass. Like, is that we don't have enough space? I mean, we have enough.
Oh
space
yeah, the space like that. Maybe she's talking like that.
In the
but
world.
She's talking. I mean, she's the mayor of Provo. She's talking about actually being in Provo. I got tripped out because I went and worked out in the gym one day over in Provo because my canyon got blocked off again. So I drove back the other way and I stopped off at the gym, and it was more in Provo. It was more diverse than the Salt Lake gym for sure. Diversity. It was a different thing. It's a different world, but I haven't noticed any changes. But I remember when that place was way smaller too, just in general. That area where that dude died, that was nothing in 2005. It was nothing. There was nothing up there. Anyway, the abortion debate with Jim Bennett and Luke Hansen.
Made
any particular part you want to listen on, or you want to comment on like what happened with it? I got to run the restroom too. Tell what you're thinking about.
it was just ass. The whole discussion was ass because it feels like Jim's goal is always just to square Mormonism with his true religion of progressivism, and he likes to try to pretend that actually Mormon doctrine is currently like it lines up with everything progressive, basically. And so he goes about this by talking about how the Mormon Church has exceptions to abortion, right? Like the exceptions being like rape and incest or the death of the mother's life. And Luke rightfully points out that they say even in cases of rape and incest, they say you should still really, really, really pray about it and really think about it if that's what you want to do. But Luke didn't do a good job. Like all they really did, all Luke really wanted to do. I understand his argument was more talking about whether or not the church was okay with legalizing abortion. And so Jim does that classic fucking pro-choice argument where he talks about how banning abortion increases abortion. And it was hilarious the way he did it. And I don't know why Luke didn't call him out on this. This is ridiculous. He talks about a Reagan era law, New Mexico City or Mexico City something. I can't remember what the name of the law was, but it was essentially saying that any NGO who wants to receive funding from the government is not allowed to receive, it's not allowed to perform abortions or encourage abortions. And then he said that abortions went up after that. Like, well, that's not the point you're trying to make because that's not an abortion ban. That's just saying we're not going to encourage abortions abroad. And Luke didn't say that. Like, I don't know why they didn't push back on that. Luke was very much fixated on what church leaders of the past have said. And I'm trying to think of what else he talked about because then Jim is such a pussy. He totally backtracked on that later and said, well, I never said that. Because the moderator tells him, well, I'm looking at the numbers here and it doesn't look like abortion rates fluctuate throughout the years. It doesn't look like there's any correlation between having a Republican in charge or a Democrat in charge, because Jim's argument was that Reagan era law was always anytime there was a Democrat in office, they would get rid of that law. And then a Republican would bring the law back every single time. And the guy's like, I'm not seeing any correlation between higher abortion rates under Republicans and lower abortion rates under Democrats. And Jim's like, I never said that. He's such a fucking pussy, Jim.
Did they actually challenge him on that one, or
not enough?
You just found that stuff afterwards.
Well, no, they did challenge him. The moderator is the one that said there's no correlation.
Oh, that's right.
That's such an easy.
That's how some other people talk about, like, births go way up when abortion bans happen, and people never look at that number.
Yeah, they do, but it's also Luke. There was such an easy answer because all Luke said when Jim told him that abortion rates go up with bans, they went up after Roe v. Wade. Luke tried to say it's because of lefty fear mongering, and that's a weak answer. The good answer to that is to look into the numbers because Roe v. Wade didn't just blanket make stricter abortion laws. It left it up to the states, and so lefty states now have much more lenient.
Yeah, what state just
laws.
passed that? Did you see that state just passed?
Yeah, was it Minnesota?
I forget what was it. It's always
I thought it was Minnesota. What the fuck is wrong with your state, Riso? It might not have been Minnesota. I can't remember.
James O'Keefe just put out a video about Minnesota too. Then he was able to just walk 8 women up with burqas and get them to vote because they had burqas on, and it was guys in the burqas. He just released that today.
And so all you got to do is look at. We actually looked at the numbers after this debate, and the numbers. The abortion rates went up in California because they now have significantly more lenient laws. But in areas with near total bans, like in Texas, it went down like 95%. They went from like 6,000 abortions to around 100 abortions a year.
Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah, did you see my? Because it was in
Yeah,
there.
I was reading that stuff, but I didn't read it all very closely. But I read
It was massive. In states with near total bans, it is nearly a 95% reduction in total abortions.
Yeah, but
now,
and then what would
those
actually
people-
happen if it was banned all over or considered?
Well, that's what I asked the AI,
murderous?
because I was asking the AI about these stats, and it was giving them to me. And here's the thing: they can just go to a different state. So
Yeah.
it's not like the total number of abortions went down in America. It's gone up a little bit. They just go to a state where they can yeet the feet anytime they want. And so I asked it, well, okay, what happens are there estimates of how many abortions would occur if it was a blanket near total federal ban? And it was like, oh yeah, it would absolutely go down. It's not like abortion rates would go up. Yeah, I mean, people would get illegal abortions more often than they do right now, but they're not just gonna. And the tricky thing they do with this, that they try to smuggle in, is that abortions happen more in areas that have more unwanted pregnancies, obviously, and areas with more unwanted pregnancies are usually areas that have lower standards of sex education and access to contraception. But you're marrying these two things. These two things don't have to, because I'm very much in favor of teaching your kids about sex young, like fairly young.
Why,
And just
why couldn't you have the abortion bans and teach harder about?
yeah, I mean, my oldest is 8. I haven't had a sex talk with him yet, but I've already decided when I do, he'll ask me where the babies come from.
Do
It's like-
conservatives tend to block? Well, the thing is too is they just blame that on conservatives wanting to block training, but then they always do add goofiness to sex ed. Like they get very wacky on their sex ed. So
Yeah,
is
that
there
is a
any sort
problem.
of ban it and then give a sensible sex education?
A sensible sex education is just teaching how reproduction works and teaching about the dangers of STDs. Like that's the sensible sex education.
Like-
You don't have to teach kids how to have butt sex.
But I'm just asking like what the conservatives would freak about, because I actually get nowadays why they freak at how stupid public sex education is getting and the stuff that they're weaseling into stuff. But would they still reject, hey, we'll have an abortion ban, but we need to have like a class that says you don't have sex, you shouldn't have sex before marriage, but if you do, that's sin. It's way better to protect yourself this way or that way or that way. Or they still say no, like you can't even mention that.
I think at this point, even because my mom was very, like when she gave me, it was Massachusetts. That's what Reese was saying.
Yeah, I had it in that video right there. I was gonna.
My mom was very like sex is this shameful thing, right? When she gave me the talk when I was in like 5th grade, and I mean I had already ridden a school bus, so I would have known about it anyway. But also I had already seen tons of hardcore porn on the internet that she didn't know about. So like I knew all this stuff.
Man, you saw it young.
Oh yeah, I saw my first hardcore porn site when I was like 5 or 6.
Did that mess up your brain at all?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm fucked in the head.
I did not see hardcore porn until I was, well, I guess, of age, 18-ish.
Yeah.
And I saw some Playboy nudes from a distance, younger. I didn't ever get to hold the magazine.
Oh, I saw everything. I'm clicking on these links. I get to like, I'm clicking on a link and it gets to a gay porn site. So I'm seeing like gay porn. I was like, oh, what is
man.
this? And then I click on another one. It's this one that says chicks with dicks. And I was like, wait, are there some women with dicks? And it takes me to a tranny site. Like I saw like degenerate, fucked up stuff when I was 5 years old on a dial-up connection in my grandma's closet while my grandpa was watching TV. I just closed the closet door.
Oh my gosh.
Ballsy of me, but
I don't even know what that would have done to my brain at that age.
it fucks it up. It makes you kind of. I've talked to other people who have done that, and the thing that they really, really want is this weird fantasy where like sex just doesn't mean anything at all. Like you have this buddy and she's a hot chick and you guys are hanging out playing games and she'll be like, hey, you want me to suck your dick? And be like, yeah, sure. She doesn't like, it's just just completely
Well, I
meaningless
think that's
and
what
casual.
Flip says that that's like the main thing that porn sells to you is that there's a zero consequences to it. So it's,
Yeah, no, that's what it is, and it's especially when you see it that young. That's what that was my ultimate
the
fantasy.
thing I was
growing up.
watching just when you're coming in, I guess there's some movie out that there's like the Purge sex version, which is there's
Oh.
one day a year where you just can purge, have sex with everybody all the time. I have no idea what.
Like rape.
I guess the Purge sex. Some movie. The guy was critiquing it, but I didn't finish it because we were starting right then.
But the really, really interesting thing that it did to my brain was when my mom had the sex talk with me. Nothing she said made me squirm. I just had to pretend to squirm. But except for one thing that she said, that when you're married, sex is this beautiful, loving, wonderful thing. And when she said that, I squirmed. Like, it disgusted me. She said that. It fucked me up bad. And
Just how she phrased it.
well, yeah, no, it took me a long time to realize that, like, no, it's a good thing. Like, sex is a good thing in certain contexts. And like, but when she said it was a good thing, I was like, no, ew, no, this is bad. I know it's bad. I know I want it, but I know it's bad and gross. And it doesn't mean anything at all. It's not loving to slap your dick across a woman's face when she calls you daddy. I've seen what sex is. Like,
so I guess it's a comedy. I thought it was supposed to be a thing, but yeah, it's a puritanical society where once a year for 12 hours, sex is okay.
oh,
One night only. For 3 years, premarital sex has been outlawed in the United States, with an exception for one night a year. A company named Rexton Labs has given everyone wrist tattoos that change color when the 12-hour exemption period commences. Oh my gosh. They're making... Okay. That's like the dumbest premise I've ever heard of.
it sounds like a plot to a porn.
But now that you made it a horror show and it was like 12 hours rape-free day, I'm like, well, there's a wild idea. Maybe that's the idea that they had in the first place before they switched it. Whoa, we better make it a comedy.
Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey, a lesbian woman who claims to be Catholic, recently
Massachusetts,
allowing mothers to abort their healthy babies up until birth. The signing ceremony featured an assortment of progressive women gleefully clapping at their newfound right to murder children who in any other situation would be perfectly capable of living outside their mother's womb. Endless ink has been spilled and breathless podcasts recorded about the dangerous radicalization of young men on the right. What almost no conservative commentator is brave enough to do is address the far more dangerous issue of female radicalization towards the left. There's been a lot of controversy in conservative circles recently about the radicalization of young men on the right. Figures like Rod Dreher are appearing on podcasts and writing books claiming that young conservative men have transformed into nihilists who follow online figures like Nick Fuentes. The warning from establishment commentators is that dangerous men are spreading dangerous ideas on the internet that turn otherwise reasonable young guys into political extremists. The truth is that young women are far more politically radical in support of the progressive agenda. These commentators know that, but they also know that criticizing women, even on the right, is dangerous, but criticizing men, well, that's always safe. Cowardice drives an obsession with berating young men while leaving the obvious crisis of female radicalization to fester. Kamala Harris received 53% of the female vote in 2024, and Joe Biden received 54% of it in 2020. Women overwhelmingly support abortion, with 65% saying it should be legal and only 34% being against the procedure. Despite being more likely to suffer from the presence of men in female sports or locker rooms, 48% of women see changing your gender as morally acceptable, compared to 39% of...
More of that feminization stuff. I want to look at this. I got a text message from one of my mission companions while I was sitting here, and it's tacos, and it says, send it to someone if it comes in your feed so they owe you tacos. From one of my mission companions I hardly ever hear from.
So I'm looking at this. I'm trying to figure out one of the most shocking parts, not shocking, one of the most telling parts of Maven having that abortion debate with Morgan was, I remember her being really shocked in the aftermath that the two women who had actually went through pregnancy several times and had babies were the ones that thought abortion should.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
just confused.
she
Which
was-
Divas put out another Maven glazing video,
Oh
which I
my
haven't
God.
watched yet.
I haven't watched it either. It's such a stupid twat. He's proud of his Maven song. I don't know how you can't be like, I.
Yeah, he's even claiming it. And he's supposedly like a music guy, like taught music
Yeah.
at BYU and stuff, and he thinks the AI slop music is good.
Even if that wasn't AI, I'd be way more.
Oh, it was
embarrassed.
AI.
No, I know, but I'd be way more embarrassed if it wasn't AI. Is what I'm saying.
Starbase says he loved his mission. I think Starbase is in Germany. Riestel says Catholics fighting against abortion that Catholics are supporting. Is that who's supporting it there? Remember this clip from Shermer.
Are people coming to you from other states now? You're in Colorado.
Yeah. I've had patients coming to me from all over the country since I opened my practice.
Oh.
And that's been especially true since I developed the techniques and instruments and procedures for doing the later abortions, which are much more difficult and take a lot more expertise and experience.
Do you ever get any women in their second half of the second trimester or in the third trimester that say they have no medical problems? They just don't want the baby. They change their mind. Would you do it?
Well, of course, if the woman doesn't want to be pregnant, there's no justification for forcing her to continue the pregnancy.
Okay. Has that happened?
It happens all the time. Of course, she has potentially fatal illness condition that can kill her.
No, I mean, if she has no medical problems.
The medical problem is that she's pregnant.
Oh, I forgot about that one. The medical problem is that she's pregnant. Get fucked, buddy. I had this discussion with somebody recently about because there was that YouTuber that decided to abort because he found out his kid had Down syndrome, and somebody's explaining to me like, you don't know how tough it is to have a kid with Down syndrome. I'm like, you're right, I don't. I know that it's very tough. I know that they have a lot of complications. There's like a lot of heart issues, and it is somebody that you are going to be responsible for probably until you die, not just until they're 18. I get that. I understand that, even though I haven't been in that situation.
Okay,
but
I don't get that because like people never say compare kids to like your dogs, but I'm not. Like I am a dog owner and I'm crazy about dogs. I cannot imagine a Down syndrome kid not being that times 1,000.
Oh yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean?
but that's sort of the point I'm getting to, is that like, okay, the first point is you should have some amount of humility in knowing that like in certain situations you might do the wrong thing. Like in Nazi Germany, you likely would have gone along with it. You don't know that you would have gone against it. But there is like this situation where if Morgan got pregnant and we found out that the baby was like had Down syndrome, I am completely positive that it would not cross either of our minds to abort that, because it's our baby, you know? And
My brother and his wife. Oh, sorry, keep going.
Well, here's the thing is, like, I am positive that like a Down syndrome child would bring a lot of struggle to my life that would be so completely outweighed by the joy that they brought to my life. But that's actually beside the point, because even if they brought more struggle than joy, I owe it to my baby. Like it's a duty. Like I signed up for this by having sex. Consent to sex is absolutely consent to pregnancy. I don't care what the pro-choicers say. I signed up for this. I have a duty to my kid. It doesn't matter how fucking difficult it is. You do it. And you're already a parent, by the way. It's not one on the way. It's you have a baby right now. You can't see him because he's in the womb.
My brother and his wife have an autistic daughter. She's in about like 12-ish now. She's not autistic like in the ways that like we use. Like she's pretty autistic, but she's also more functional than like, you know, the worst thing you'd imagine, you know.
Mhm.
But they're crazy about her, you know what I mean? They're crazy. Like she's verbal, she's kind of pretty verbal, but she's like crazy about her movies, and she loves snakes for some reason. She's crazy about snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, did you hear Bering talking about his daughter
Oh yeah, and then quartering,
Count-
making an ass of himself.
Well, that was Count Dankula talk, but then Bering revealed it. Him
yeah.
and Count Dankula both have like low functioning autistic daughters.
Nonverbal,
and, yeah, and when they talk about them, they're just beaming.
Yeah. Because even in that situation, but I mean, I in high school I worked with the handicapped kids. I took that class where, like, for one period out of the day, you go and help them. Some of those kids would have been, whoa, hard. That would have been hard,
Well, I remember going to stake dances. There was this girl in my high school that would always ask me to dance like a couple times, and she was like she was verbal, but she, had weird movements and stuff like that, and she's very slow mentally, but like,
I mean, there's a couple
I'm
of them
gonna
like
dance with her. She's a sweetheart.
There was a couple of them like, they'd go to the bathroom and stuff every day, but like all you really got out of them is them kind of like walking around, and that's all they could do like all day and type stuff.
Oh yeah, no, my one of my great uncles, he had this kid who I can't remember what his ailment was, but like he was completely nonverbal and he was usually curled up in like a fetal position and he couldn't control his fingers, but he kind of scoot around like a gorilla. And we stayed the night there one day, and me and my brother are sleeping in the basement, and when we wake up, it's like 9:30 in the morning, and there's like 3 inches of water in the entire basement.
Oh man.
Because that kid had scooted to the window well and just thrown the hose in it.
Oh man.
And when he died, my uncle was just heartbroken.
Yeah, some of those ones that were really tough, I wonder like what it was like for their families and stuff like that. But I bet, still I don't think abortions, you deal with it,
Yeah,
and
it's tough, but it's your fucking kid.
I'm 100% positive at any point if it were something that happened in my life, I would have dealt with it. And I was prepared to do that plenty of times.
Well, you always say for better or for worse in a marriage. So if your wife gets cancer and you leave her, you're a sack of shit.
Yeah.
But like, you don't say it with a kid because it just kind of feels like duh. Like it's implied. You're like, never mind. He's retarded. Let's try again.
Yeah, and I kind of don't get why like Jim Bennett feels the need to try to like work that thing out. I guess because he wants to make voting Dem feasible for more.
Well, yeah, he tries to do that thing where he's like, I agree that abortion is illegal, is evil. So I want to ask him, why is abortion evil? Explain to me why it's evil. What action is happening that is evil, Jim? Is it that a human is dying? Because that's pretty evil.
Well, anyway, anything else on the abortion stuff? We need to talk maybe some slop or maybe a WNBA and men. Some women are applying to be in the WNBA. I'm going to start that with this.
The clip I'm about to play is what it looks like when a biological reality, for lack of a better word, collides with an ideological bullshit fantasy. Watch this.
Runner ready! Defender ready! 3, 2, 1, run it!
He pulled
his punch. He way pulled his punch.
Now, I wouldn't say that those two are massively structurally built different. I mean, it's not like he's 250 and she's $125. He's 6 foot and she's 5 foot. They're probably close to the same weight, the same height. But this is what happens when you let a bullshit narrative inform your entire worldview, and it becomes your belief and your standard. You could tell she was confident that she was going to be able to put up a fight. She was going to be able to challenge him. And also what happened, you could tell he was confident that she was going to be able to put up a challenge. He had been so brainwashed into believing that this was going to be a challenge. And you could see the expression on his face. He was concerned.
I disagree with that. I mean, he hit harder than I think he was kind of surprised on how bad it went, but he pulled it too.
He pulled it hard, and he thought he pulled it enough. And then he was shocked at how pulling it that much didn't do what he thought it would do.
Yeah.
Not expect that to happen. He put the ball down and he was just like, my God, what did I just do? His worldview and hers too changed the very second that he hit that reset button. And look, this is what happens when you've been told your entire life that you're every bit as strong, every bit as powerful, every bit as capable, every bit as fast, every bit of whatever as a man. And I hope that there's no massive long-term impacts to her. But she, like Chris Tucker said on Friday, she got knocked the fuck out. And what's even worse, in my opinion, and what will have way more impact is this fantasy that we have that somehow we need to protect biological men who think that they're women in women's sports. And look, if they are biologically male, this right here is...
So those guys announced for the WNBA, the WNBA.
Well, the craziest part, I remember working at a group home. So I was working at a group home with 3, handicapped people. What is that? Forrest, to be honest, I don't know what the fuck people are just going head to head like that. Shit's for that's rugby?
It's dumb, but like in football, we did that drill. We would do that drill. It was called, what do we call it? We called it, I think I can't remember what we called it, but we would do it at the end.
Reset. You have brothers, right?
we would do that drill in football at the end of practice on the line, the offensive line. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, I think it was that rugby? Like a rugby?
That was rugby.
Yeah. Rugby, I don't quote me on this, but I've heard that rugby actually has a lot less severe injuries than football because the lack of pads. They're a lot. It's kind of like MMA versus boxing. There's less concussions.
Yeah, forever people thought the ones wearing the pads were more pussies, but then it became the difference between cuts and scrapes and bumps in a car crash. You know what I mean? And it hurt. I think Forrest is actually right. Like, why the hell were we doing that drill? That drill was stupid as shit. Forrest is right. It's dumb. Nobody should be doing that.
Forrest, you grew up. You're roughly my age, right? I think you're a little younger. I mean, you grew up on Jackass. You get it.
Oh man, I watched that Jackass. I don't know how those guys put up with that stuff, even if it's for money or whatever. When they watched that intro that you sent of there,
dude, it's not. I'm sure it's mostly about the money for them, but there's this whole spirit thing. Like, me and my friends imitated them all the time. Yeah, Forrest is 2 years younger than me. We imitated that shit. We were always doing stupid shit and getting hurt, and it was just fucking awesome. It's like fun.
Me and all my friends and the guy's a grade older than us. The guy actually made a TV show out of it. He was one of Utah's kind of most famous fighters around, and they called him Johnny Ritchie, the little ball of hate. And he has like some show that was even like this stuff. But he was before these guys. He was doing this stuff before these guys, like them. Like it was the early 90s, and he was doing this stuff all the time. And they were crazy and they were nuts like that. And I'd be around them sometimes, but these guys still have an added level of just do a thing that hurts.
Yeah. Like Steve-O putting a leech on his eyeball.
Yeah. So I can say, like, I knew guys who were hardcore or whatever, but those guys have like an extra level of
and Johnny Knoxville is crazy. Like, Johnny Knoxville is
just hit me in the nuts.
Oh, dude, no, they do the cup test and it gets worse every movie. In Jackass 4, it was Danger Aaron did the cup test where he had a professional softball player fast pitch directly at his nuts. He was wearing a cup, but it's a cup check. And then he had a professional hockey player just do a slap shot right at the cup. And then he had a dude pogo stick on his nutsack. And that, dude, I got to look away for that. That one is that's painful to watch. It hurts. But
Risa says some kids were dousing themselves in fire and then jumping in the water below. Oh man. I don't know how he does that or signs up to do that, because I might have said this might be too much information. One of the reasons I might not have a kid in this world right now is I took a hockey puck to the nuts from a kid who made the NHL. And
yeah, he told that before.
I feel it now. Like I still feel it. I have a slightly different sized nut from it.
Prove it.
and I still like slightly like feel it. And the moment that it happened, like I got hit in the nuts, and it hit so hard it made like the tip of my wing sting. And like how you would, and that didn't get hit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How, and I was bent over and hurt and like barfing for like a half hour. Like how you would sign up for that ever again in a lifetime is just beyond me. Like,
I know. It's wild.
These guys
identify.
I guess the NBA came out and announced that they weren't able to identify what exactly is a woman, but these guys are bad faith. That's their only announcement so far.
Sometimes identifying as a woman for purposes of basketball, professional basketball. So I'll be declaring for the WNBA draft in 2027 as well. I mean, I think I'd be unstoppable. But I'm a team first guy. I'm a pass first.
These guys are obviously trolling them, and it's a good troll that you're doing, like a push the extent case of the law of like what the hell are you guys talking about? It was kind of funny though, because I didn't save the clip. I think Clay Travis played it, but Lonzo Ball and a couple other NBA players were sitting there talking, and they're like able to kind of get a little bit more honest about it now. Not that they weren't before. It's just like the glass is broken a little bit, and those guys said in their high schools, they were pulled in to be the practice squad against the senior team of girls when they were in 8th and 9th grade. And they said, we would kill them. We would kill them in 8th and 9th grade when they were 12th graders.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Kind of player. I do the little things. I led my team in all 5 major stat categories at Iowa State.
I think
University.
it would be funny just to see it like just put them out on the court just one time. Just show everybody one time. Put Enes Kanter and him on the court on the same team. Just show us one time so everybody can shut up about it.
I know.
But
did I tell you about this guy at work who was? This was like probably like 6 years ago. I don't remember, but it was when the U.S. women's soccer team were just on the top of the world, right? He's talking about how good they are. I was like, yeah, they're really good. I mean, I don't know soccer, but I mean, they're winning a ton. They're a really fucking good team. And he's like, they're so much better than the men's team. And I was like, well, I mean, like relatively, within their league, they're better than the men are within their league. And he's like, no, they're like actually better. No, they're not. Like you think they could beat the men's team? He's like, yeah. No, they absolutely fucking couldn't. What are you talking about? And then I showed him that thing where the 14-year-old boy team just creamed that almost exact same female soccer team. And he's like, well, it was a different team. They had a couple extra players. Yeah, but they're 14-year-old boys. And it was funny because then another guy walked in and was like, hey, Dustin, tell Aaron your stupid opinion. What was that stupid opinion you had? He's like, well, I think the women's U.S. soccer team could beat the men's U.S. soccer team. And the guy's like, and then he explains it. And then another guy comes in and says, hey, Thomas, listen to Dustin's stupid, retarded opinion. And he got less confident each time because I was being a dick. He's like, I think the women's female soccer team could beat the men American soccer team.
Like the only way I remember Scott Adams would kind of be on the side of saying like, well, I don't get it. I don't understand this stuff. And like the only way you guys can get this stuff is if you played 0 sports in your life.
I know.
Like you were just 100% a bookworm your entire life. That's the only way you guys could imagine that up. WPATH in court stated as a defense for themselves that their standards of care was always just their opinion.
Hold on. Hang on. WPATH has conceded in court that its standards of care is merely an opinion. WPATH says it represents one side of an unsettled side. Unsettled, huh?
Yeah.
I was told it was settled. Let's see. Plaintiff's claims should be. Hang on. Let me.
You got bigger?
Yeah. Plaintiff's claims should be dismissed before independent. I can't read that. It's just
Plaintiff's claims should be dismissed for 4 independent reasons. First, the Fifth Circuit has long held that statements of opinion are not actionable. The statements in SOC 8 are opinions about what conclusions existing scientific research supports. WPATH engages in this significant medical debate by publishing academic and clinical guidelines for healthcare providers for the provision of transgender healthcare. Plaintiffs acknowledge that there are parties on both sides of the medical debate. WPATH is on one side of the debate and provides guidelines on how to best provide transgender healthcare. Others, such as Dr. Hillary Cass, fall on the other side of the debate and disagree with how to or if one should provide transgender healthcare to adolescents. The Supreme Court has recently addressed the medical and scientific uncertainty regarding transgender healthcare for minors. Doctors' statements cannot be imputed to WPATH because doctors bear independent responsibility for their own advice. So the internet was all ablaze with that. You know, just saying stuff like, did that show?
Just an opinion.
What if the medical pioneers who developed lobotomies later admitted there was no science to support their brutal surgical procedure, only their opinion that it might have been a good idea? That is what just happened with, I think that's basically what the defense was with the lobotomies. That is what just happened with pediatric gender affirming care, which I've always thought it was kind of just like lobotomy. It is hard to overstate the importance of the court admission from WPATH, the most influential transgender medical association, whose guidelines are still cited by governments and medical groups worldwide as a progressive standard of care. In a Texas federal filing, WPATH now concedes that standard of care are merely its opinion. What it claims is one side of a debate marked by medical unscientific certainty. Yeah, that's that. Going back to you remember old McClellan last week, Danny McClellan telling us about neuroscience in the brain, well, which Sabina Hoffenstetter just came out with a video about how neuroscience, most of the foundations of neuroscience are appearing to be bunk, and almost all of the research papers on it are bunk stemming from that. Did you watch that video?
I didn't.
Just basically says that image lighting stuff, they have some evidence that it doesn't show what they think it shows, just because there's like certain blood flows to a part of the brain and it flashes up on a computer. Troy got to play VR with his son on the golf.
I didn't stand you up this time.
But if you remember about Dan McClellan pulling up his cognitive science of the brain and cognitive science because he's a scientific scientist, and how we said, well, Judith Butler and those types will never accept that. Well, I mean, here's just a random TikTok person telling him that he is the transphobe. Remember, he warned us about his transphobia because it's bioessentialist to talk about the neuroscience of.
And you guys explain how you. I need to explain this to the trans people who don't recognize it. It is bioessentialist to claim that the brain is what causes your gender. The brain is a part of your biology. Your argument is that you were born with a brain that makes you behave with the innate characteristics that you deem the gender of man or woman. You are saying there are innate behaviors and characteristics of each gender that your brain was born with just innately understanding. That is bioessentialism. I have somebody trying to go right now like, you know, being a woman is just something you feel. You feel like a woman. You know, it's just Shania Twain. Like, man, I feel like a woman, and now you're a woman. I kept asking, how exactly do you define feeling like a woman that is different than feeling like a man? They couldn't answer. They said, go look at peer-reviewed arguments, as if that's going to help, because those peer-reviewed arguments actually address what it means to feel like a woman. You can't tell me that you feel like a woman because you get called she and feel.
I mean, I think I played like the Annie Hall clip years ago of he's standing in line and he hears somebody start arguing about the philosophies of Marshall McLuhan, and they're just sitting there arguing, and then after a minute, he says, well, I got Marshall McLuhan right here. And he grabs him out, and it's actually Marshall McLuhan, the philosopher. And he says, everything you're saying is absolute crap. I don't know what you're talking about, you know? And he goes, oh boy, if life was something like this. But I was kind of think about that with, first off, like the, I guess there was a big fight at Sunstone with Michelle Stone, supposedly some hot stuff where they got spicy with each other. probably less spicy than what was said, but they supposedly got into like a big argument about this stuff. But I like to think it's funny that Michelle Stone is sitting there defending Joseph Smith, and that if you pulled up Joseph Smith right there with him, he'd be like, no, I like lots of girls. I got all the girls.
Is this bitch saying I didn't slay puss? I slayed puss. I slayed mad puss. Fuck, I like to think his ego would.
But it's almost
no, fuck you, lady.
It was the same thing with critical race theory with Crenshaw, where you'd say like, you guys were Marxists, you had a Marxist beginning, and then like all these apologist centrists would come say, it's not Marxist, it's just talking about the things weren't right, and you'd pull up, here's Kimberly Crenshaw. Yes, we are Marxists. It's the Marxist under like the whole thing, and but it's the same thing with this. Like, there's so many times where the apologist who's trying to make it make sense to like the liberal center or the rational people or whatever, you go like, you haven't read it, you don't know what these guys say. If we pulled up Judith Butler right now and she didn't get dodgy, she would argue with me on my side, not with you.
Well, yeah, no, but she's right. This lady, this weird cat ear lady, it's right. It is claiming that you have a female brain, or that there is a female brain, is bioessentialism. If that's what you want to fucking call it.
It is part of being against queerness and LGBT to assume that there's scientific, medical, Western answers or falsifiability. Falsifiability itself is against queerness. Don't act all tough bringing out your science to us. You know what I mean? It's so goofy. But what's his name? Divas ripped another video from some other creator, and I was wondering if we should just play the whole entire thing live as we left out and see if Divas copyright strikes us for it.
I could see him doing that. I don't know.
We would talk over it too much and get too much.
Yeah, I mean, you can go for it. I don't care.
Nah, I don't want to play the whole video. I'm just saying Divas rips videos, and he's a piece of shit.
Did I tell you I sent him a message when Troy found that video of Morgan's that he stole?
Yeah, we had this last week, which was an amazing video. These guys saving a girl from a serial killer, and they open this container, and they get in, and they get to her and save her. I wonder if
video? Yeah. Okay. Hi. Just a girl. Just a girl. Just a girl. How are you, honey? This is bolt cutters.
I'll get to see if it's still the first comment. Yep, it is still the first comment.
Oh, I can't.
The last thing she needed was 5 men coming in there. Send in a woman first. I could think of another last thing that she would need coming in.
The last thing she needed was to be raped again and murdered. What are you talking about? You idiot!
Oh, your answer's right underneath. That's not. You absolutely got to be fucking kidding right now. I think being rescued mattered to her more. I think there's going to be plenty of women in there saying. I'm guessing it's like 100% dunking on her. I'm pretty actually glad to see her rescuers. Yeah, I mean 3,000 replies on it. Oh my gosh.
Well deserved, you weird bitch. Jesus Christ. A woman was tortured. Okay? I think she's pretty stoked to no longer be tortured.
So here's something I'm going to have to defend Jason R. Day again because I don't think there's anything about his plagiarism and bullcrap background and mythical making up stuff that isn't qualified to be part of this Cambridge sociology department here, which we pull up all of the people in the Cambridge sociology department. We got Amelia Amadilla. That sound like Amelia Bedelia?
It kind of does, yeah.
Amelia Bedelia Amamate, Traditional Coastal Norms, Technology and Gender Relations in Ghana. Mamasa Kamra, The Political Economy of Female Circumcision. Well, I mean, that actually could probably be useful, but I bet you they make it not useful.
Yeah, if you're anti-female circumcision, then good.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be not. This post here by Wilford Riley was one of the things that it's one of the things that makes me kind of like sad. Of this is true of great many fields. Black studies, for example, could look at almost anything real. How African Castellar architecture will compared to that of Eastern European, say, of a debate yesterday. Instead, the field something almost totally focused on finding and naming new varietal of fringe racisms. But like you imagine, like, what if a bunch of people really were doing good, real work in that field for years? You know what I mean?
I know.
There'd probably be awesome stuff out there. But anyway, where was I with that sociology department?
Forrest asked if we've spoken about male genital mutilation. Big topic of mine. I'm talking about just circumcision. Because
you don't do the circumcisions, right?
No. We did it on our first kid. I didn't want to. Me and Morgan argued about it. After she saw him the doctor scared her because he was telling her that males who are not circumcised have a higher propensity for STDs. And I was explaining, I was like, okay, but like, look at the countries where they circumcise versus the countries where they don't. Where do you think they're more likely to have STDs? Hey, far be it from me to quote Reddit, but correlation, causation, but after she saw it happen, she's like, all right, we're not doing that on our other kids. And so I don't know. I think most people just do it because it's the norm in America for whatever reason.
I want to look up and see if that lady is in good stuff for female circumcision, or if she does what we say at the sociology of what the problems should be and not what the problems actually are. But I mean, I could imagine her being like an Ayaan Hirsi Ali, but probably not out of Cambridge. Look at this. Pauline Eller. The thing that trips me out, like, this just isn't like the name of the paper. This is their focus. Their focus. Like, this is what, in sociology, this is what they do. Unsexed beings constructing gender humanness and agency through the use of the word unsexed in late modern British society and writing. That's her.
Well, hang on.
Area of focus.
Sorry, off topic, I guess. Forrest said Egypt has a 90% female genital mutilation rate.
Gosh.
Are you kidding? Oh, that's... See, there is... I will give him this. Female circumcision is way worse than male circumcision. You know?
Yeah, I mean, because
like
doesn't it make it so they can't have sexual pleasure?
They get rid of they get rid of the clitoris. And I mean, there's other pleasure organs up in there, but like, it is just flat out evil. I don't like circumcision, like male circumcision either, but I would say the female one is a lot worse. Zero feminists talk about it. Surprise. Do you remember that awesome Dawkins tweet? I'll have to try to find it. It was this lady talking about how come men never talk about feminist stuff and help us get feminist stuff going. And Dawkins just responds by, what was it? Islamic states desperately need a feminist revolution. What can we do to stop this? And her response was, stay in your fucking lane.
I'm trying to look up what is that the highest one? I wouldn't have guessed that Egypt would be the highest one.
I would not have guessed Egypt. I would have guessed, I don't know.
I'm grokking it now, if we can trust the grokkers. Rand's research is thinking is probably going to tell me I can't answer that for you.
I guess
this says Somalia, Guinea, and Djibouti. However you say that one.
Oof. What are the rates?
Followed closely by Mali, Egypt, Sudan, Eritrea, and Sierra Leone. Somalia is 99%.
Holy fuck.
Near universal data 2020. Guinea's 94, 95%. How many Muslim women are in the world, man?
Jesus. No, yeah, Forrest he said, Not sure if it's the highest, but I was shocked because they are not seen as a shithole country. Yeah, that's why it shocked me when you said it. I would not have guessed Egypt as being even nearly that high.
So if they're running like at that rate of female circumcision, because like there were so many different countries, how many Muslim women in the world globally? I mean, we got like a 1 billion about
Muslims.
Current estimates of global population of Muslims is 2 to 2.7 billion. About 1 billion Muslim women. 1 billion. So 1/7 of this world is walking around completely sexually mutilated, almost.
That's fucking nuts.
Jeez.
How did feminists not get more butthurt about that? If I can team it up with Muslim, that's the most. I mean, we pointed out all the time how absurd it is. It's just there's so many different ways that it is absurd.
That's man. Stephanie Foggett, in her own words, a study of women's voices in contemporary white supremacy and far right online hate.
Oh, fuck off.
I'm sure that's super academic. Legal mobilization by Black, lesbian, bisexual, and queer women in Kenya and South Africa.
Oh.
A genealogy of premenstrual dysphoric. This is the sociology department. A genealogy of premenstrual dysphoric disorder.
Just get rid of it.
Sarah, wait, there's a white dude. Oh my gosh, how do you get in there? Well, it's probably trans woman. Exploring gendered embodiment in transgender and gender diverse adolescent at the intersection of exercise and eating behaviors, social inclusion, and mental health towards a desire-centered approach in pediatric gender affirming healthcare and research. All right, white dude. Codes of life, codes of death. Tracing the impossibility of trans lives in algorithmic assemblages.
What the fuck does that mean?
Algorithmic
assemblages?
Exploring historical trauma. This can't be the sociology department. This got to be the gender department. Current PhD students in gender studies. Okay. I thought it was a sociology department. Sweet merciful crap.
You're going to look up the sociology department and it's going to be the exact same fucking thing.
The sexually sociological gay masculinity, intimacy, and the unqueer state. Man, it's probably so insufferable. Like we were talking about how rough it was to be in a bunch of suits and ties listening to that Mormon church stuff, but I would take it over sitting through seminars and that any day of the week.
Oh, for sure. This is so much gayer than having butt sex with a man.
Daily Wire did a big expose that the president of Maryland is also a plagiarist. They're just going to keep finding more and more. Like Grok's going to probably expose. I mean, all the DEI stuff it's going to expose them. It'll probably expose a bunch of other just random shitbags too with the way you can run that. I mean, I'm guessing if you just keep running it, you're going to catch some whiteys who've been plagiarizing out there too.
For sure. I mean, we don't claim them though.
We made a mistake. University of California faculty calls to reinstate the SAT.
Wait, they got rid of the SAT?
Yeah, a couple of years ago. But they're back.
I don't even remember that.
Not able to do math.
Well, no shit. You don't give them a math test. Holy fuck.
They stopped using it in 2020, just barely to promote equity. Out of school, kid bar. Don't touch the stove, you'll burn yourself. You're just a racist. Hot stoves are social constructs. The purpose of the stove is to cook things. It's intended to get hot. That's just white supremacist framework to keep blacks down.
Holy Christ.
Ew, I don't know. I got so much stuff around that. Here's a random thing. Bullshit products. We always talk about bullshit products that even the right-wing grifters sell. This is one we have not mentioned. Mattresses.
Dude, you know what's funny? Is just today, one of my buddies at work was like, man, I need a new mattress. I was like, don't get Helix. And he's like, why? do you hate Helix? I was like, yeah. Why do you hate Helix? Because podcasters hawk them. That's
Yeah.
I don't know shit
100%.
about it.
If it's hawked by, well, here's the honest answer. I listened to this whole entire video by this dude, Zachary Smigel. The mattress industry is built on lies. And the honest truth of it is what it is like there's basically just a couple mattress places that actually make them. They're basically all the same. They're all the same. Like you can get those little additives or those extra things or whatever, but they're basically all just made by the same place and same thing. And they even like kind of made monopolies against each other. And he goes into detail about a lot of people had theories that a bunch of those mattress stores were just fronts because you'd see multiples on multiple sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That they weren't fronts. They did that to themselves because they didn't like check out the real estate when they bought up the entire monopoly on the market. But even like all the online stuff and all those things are just all made by the same mattress people. And over years, people think they're getting better and better. They're actually getting worse and worse. And they do things to put in designed obsolescence. And they'll tell you that it was to make it better. Like they'll say it's a one-sided mattress. That's part of our futuristic stuff. No, that's part of them making it so you couldn't just flip it over and use the other side for a long time.
Yeah.
And designed obsolescence. So you'd have to turn it over faster.
I am so not picky with mattresses. What I want in a mattress is just have it be really soft. That's it.
Yeah, you just find one you like, and there's not going to be a difference between one company and another. So get the other thing because they're basically all made by the same dang thing.
Morgan has a shitty back, so she's always looking for a firm mattress. I wish she didn't have a shitty back, so we could just have. I want to sleep on a goddamn cloud. Okay, my 5-year-old has the comfiest bed in our house, in my opinion. It's a tiny little twin, and it just has the most awesome pad on it. And it was such a cheap pad. Oh, it's so great. I wish my bed felt like that.
So a while back, there was a major earthquake in Colombia and a major earthquake in Venezuela.
Was it climate change?
It took down billions, probably climate change. You want to know what though? This actually kind of trips me out about my mission because I went through 2 earthquakes on my mission. Both times I was up in buildings that looked like this. And I didn't even think about it. Like, you know, and I was just like, oh, this is kind of cool. I mean, it is trippy. It feels weird, but I didn't even stop and think about, oh my gosh, I'm in a building that is not made well. You know,
fuck.
Like
Yeah.
it just did not even cross my mind. And I think I dodged a crazy, mine were 5, 5.7, 5.8 earthquakes.
You know, it's funny. I was just thinking, we were talking about this big wreck we got in, me and a couple of my coworkers when we were carpooling like 7 years ago. Like it was bad. Like the guy just pulled out in front of us on our way to work. We were going like 75 miles an hour, turned, hit the front of his car, and we just rolled I don't know how many times. And I remember it feels like everything's in slow motion. It feels like you're rolling forever. And I remember thinking it'd be really funny if I were like, wee. And then I almost did it. And then in my head, I was like, that would come off as pretty insensitive if one of us dies.
Yeah.
You know? So maybe I won't. It's like I had time to think that.
That might have happened to somebody in my life in high school. This kid died doing like off-roading down in like Moab Dune stuff. And they said that they think that it's like in their heads or maybe not in their heads, but they said that as soon as they crashed done, he said some joke. And they're like, I heard him say a joke. I heard him say some joke. I heard him say something, but he was dead. And they don't know if they just were hearing something or if he really did do that right before he died or something.
Steve's in Utah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna hang out with Steve at
He's
the
already-
little Red Iguana and get some tacos. Taco time.
He's already feeling the spirit.
Yeah, that'll be fun. We're running out of time over there. Any other site you wanted to hit on?
I don't know. Is there anything you can think of?
I guess going on with the trans stuff, JD Vance and those guys have announced that they're going to go after doctors that have been just today. They just barely announced this today.
Doctors that have convinced parents that their kids are going to kill themselves?
Yeah.
Good.
Basically. They're going to be investigating what messaging was given to families and go after the families. That's what they're saying.
Well, that was my So the normie dam at work was asking the lesbian dam at work about her opinions on the trans stuff. And I chimed in a little bit, and because she was talking about puberty blockers being a pause button. I was like, they're not a pause button. I explained that, the whole cast review. And the funny part was she had heard of the cast review. I was like, you've heard of the cast review and you're still calling it a pause button? And she was like, well, it's just really complicated because she's telling a story about her friend who had a daughter who told her parents, I'm a boy, when she was really little, and they just kind of like, oh, whatever. And then she'd do it every now and then. And then when she got to be, I think, 11 years old, she said, I'm a boy, and if you don't do something about this, I'm going to kill myself. And she's like, so when you're faced with that, you might do it too.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no, it's a big deal. It sucks for your kid. How much did they let her use Tumblr? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, also your kid has some other really insane issues.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, that's one of the things they're looking at. They're supposedly looking at the messaging that was given to the parents, what was passed on to the parents, and what was said to the doctors, and this sort of thing. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, the queer people sort of seem to think that you can convert people into it, and in fact, that's part of their ideology. Oh, did you see the whole story on She-Hulk?
Oh yeah.
And the Halo stuff. Oh, that's the one I wanted to play. We need to play the World of Warcraft video, man.
World of Warcraft video.
Wasn't that World of Warcraft that you posted?
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
So you see here, but yeah, the She-Hulk thing. They hired this woman to run it. She had worked on Rick and Morty, and then when they hired her and they hired up their team, the whole idea of the show. This is all reported by Marvel now. Like, this is like confirmed. The whole entire team. The idea of the show was that in the comics, She-Hulk is actually a lawyer, and the comics kind of can be like a run serial thing because she actually handles the lawyer stuff for the different superheroes. So it could make for a good idea for a running series of lawyerly subjects surrounding superheroes, right? They got in and they hired like this whole team of women stemming from this one lady, who had written the Pickle Rick episode of Rick and Morty, and in that episode they hired Susan Sarandon to play a Chinese therapist,
Dr. Wong.
And
this made me lose so much respect for Dan Harmon.
They got so mad at him for doing that they did a 40-hour podcast called Whiting the Wongs. And
oh my God, what a cock, what a bitch, cock faggot.
We need to go listen to those episodes. I've been thinking of trying to rewatch Rick and Morty to get through it, but I think I just fade out the same place I faded out naturally.
Yeah.
But anyway, when they hired her up and all these different women they were supposed to get in there, they openly admitted they realized that none of them knew anything about lawyering and couldn't write the show based off of that. And so then by the end of it, they write in at the end this robot who's meddling with them and messing up their lives, and they named it Kevin after Kevin Feige, the runner of Marvel. And he approved it and said, that's fine. And then they wanted to put his hat on it. And then he said, no, we're not putting that hat. And so then she quit. Said, well, I'm going to quit if you don't let me put on that hat. And he says, okay, resignation accepted. And we would have a second season of She-Hulk if it wasn't for that, because that show actually got okay ratings. Did you know that? Because it was early on in the run of stuff. So we would have had so she just fired herself out of it by insisting on insulting her boss in the show.
Yeah, just imagine the balls to just think that you command that much authority. Fuck off, lady.
Yeah. Where's the oh man, I know I saved that. Helpful when you meet a celebrity. Oh, I guess you haven't played it. I couldn't find it. Oh, here it is. Finally found it.
Whoa, 偉大なる図鑑クラウドです。何用でここへ参られたのだ。お前は
Just
未来
turn it down. They say that you can see the future, yes. But be warned, many have gone mad with knowledge of things to come. Battle after battle, I prove my strength and bring glory to the horde. I have slain many pink skins, and they tremble at the sound of my name. Go ahead. We are
closer to their end. Tell me, what does the future hold for us and our clan? Many victories shall be wrought in your name. Yet I see something else too. What is it? Let me see. No, don't. I'm sure you can play the sound. I don't.
And where it's going.
Warcraft. Sounds kind of intimidating.
Just the messenger. What am I fighting for?
I wonder if that's what a World War II vet would think about.
I know. I love those World War II vet memes. Like, I'm so happy to die for my country so that my son can wear a fox butt plug and claim that he has neurodivergency, so he needs more time on a test.
It feels like this comic we showed it last week, but it almost could be like the university too, of like the tech people working on stuff, the medical people working on stuff, even the musicians doing stuff. And I'm the writer. I'm gay. I'm the humanities department. We just saw the gender department. I'm gay.
What kind of gay are you? I'm actually not. Huh?
What? Yeah, I guess that's about it. I guess I don't got about nothing. Oh no, I don't want to show that one. That's too racy of a joke.
I want to know.
I was shared earlier. You've seen all the racy jokes.
Oh.
You shared this one. Dad, I have something to tell you.
Oh, what is I can't read it, but it's.
I have something to tell you. I'm a transgender. No, you're not. Just quiet.
Transgender.
That's a good one to end on. Anyway, we're going to be eating the red iguana with Steve in a few days. So I got to run a walk a doggy.
We'll see you on Saturday, Steve.
See you, Steve.
All right, later.
So long, gay boys.
Gay boys.